The tables have turned. After the New York Rangers took the first 3 games of this Eastern Conference semifinal series, the Carolina Hurricanes have won the last 2. Only 4 teams in NHL history have come back from an 0-3 playoff deficit to win a series. The Canes are going to give themselves a chance to be the 5th, hosting the Rangers tonight. They stayed alive with a 4-3 win on home ice in Game 4 regulation, then scored 4 unanswered goals in Game 5 at Madison Square Garden, and a 4-1 victory in Game 5 to keep their series hopes alive on a potential run to the Eastern Conference Final. A popular Stanley Cup pick at the beginning of the season, they drew a tough second-round opponent in the President's Trophy winning New York Rangers. But after a 7-0 playoff winning streak was snapped, the Blue Shirts didn't do much in Game 5 to prove have to metal to overcome their first taste of adversity. Now here comes their second taste of adversity here, up against the Hurricane squad, has revitalized and motivated, reinvigorated all around. If Carolina's offense heating up, Game 6 could be a high-scoring, entertaining affair, but who knows? Hello, everyone. Welcome to PNC Arena. I am Alec Nava. Game 6 of the New York Rangers and the Carolina Hurricanes in this best-of-7 series. The Rangers are looking to avoid getting reverse swept. The Hurricanes are looking to become the 5th team in NHL history to complete a successful reverse sweep. New York was enjoying a fair amount of puck luck before the season series tipped in the Hurricanes' favor. They've been outshot in all 5 of their games against Carolina. It's controlling just 46.95% of expected goals at 5-on-5 in this series. A big concern should be a power play that's gone dry in their last 3 games. With 4 goals allowed in Game 4 and 3 in Game 5, Igor Shesterkin isn't stealing games the way that he is. Is the fatigue factor from the series with multiple overtimes and high shot volume from Carolina starting to get to him? Who knows? Plus, Philip Keito's stats remains a question mark. After solid outing his return to action in Game 3, he missed Games 4 and 5 with what has been called an illness. He did practice on Wednesday, and while he didn't take line rushes, Peter Laviolette said all players who practice have been cleared to play. He'd be a welcome option if he is able to return to the lineup. Plus, Blake Wheeler, who celebrated the Game 3 victory by banging onto the boards to his Rangers teammates after being out since mid-February with a leg injury, also practiced. He's skating the regular spot of Chris Kreider, who is absent for what Laviolette said he's hoping is normal playoff maintenance. Laviolette also juggled his defense pairings to practice with Ryan Lindgren and Adam Fox staying together, but with Keandre Miller skating with Jacob Trouba and Eric Gustafsson with Braden Schneider, as was the case at the beginning of the season. And while the Rangers won the 5-on-5 expected goals battle in Game 1, it's been all Carolina since. They're trending upward at 57.26% in Game 4, 55.09% in Game 5. They're also riding 3 straight games of perfect penalty killing, and their only power play goal of the series thus far was the biggest one of the series. Brady Shea extended the series with his Game 4 blast late in the third of a game that was tied 3-3. Plus, Rod Brindamore did mix up his power play units at practice, looking for a spark from a group that has had the second best power play in the NHL during the regular season, but has mightily struggled in this series. Brett Pesce has also hit the ice for the first time since suffering a lower body injury in Game 2 at the first round against the New York Islanders. He skates an extra, and while Brindamore downplayed the prospect of his player's return to action, a healthy Pesce would be more than welcome on the Hurricanes' blue line in the first straight elimination game for them. After backstopping the wins against 4 and 5, we could see Freddie Anderson between the pipes for Game 6. He's at a 9-5 save percentage and 2.8 goals saved above expected in the playoffs, but it's not the worst thing in the world. The losses they took in Games 1 and 2 were nowhere close to his fault. For the most part, especially Game 2, he played lights out in the double overtime loss. So the power play mojo has to be there for both teams. The Rangers, they're 0-for-8 with 10 shots on goal on the power play in the last 3 games, 0-for-3 with 5 shots in Game 5. After starting the series 4-for-9, including scoring twice in 23 seconds of power play time in Game 1. Vinny Trocheck says he thinks the Canes have been less aggressive on the PK, and that might be throwing off the Rangers, who have been slow to attack and unable to get quality setups in the offensive zone to generate. The Sebastian Aho line could be in for a quick setup. In another must-win game, it's going to be impactful for Carolina to get some production for the top line of Sebastian Aho, Jake Gensel, and Andrei Svechnikov in Game 6, preferably early if possible. They won Game 5 without any of the 3 getting a point. Their second, third, and fourth lines did the damage instead. And at the 5-on-5, the Rangers can't be content with flipping the puck out of the defensive zone. There are times when flipping it out is the right play and might be the only play against the Canes' aggressive in-your-face forecheck. But for the Rangers to play their game with a pace and attack mentality, They have to connect on short passes in the defensive zone, pushing ahead with their forwards moving up the ice to get for the neutral zone. That's their game, and they didn't play it in Game 5. Carolina's play was a big reason why, but the Rangers have to get back in it to avoid a Game 7. We now go to our projected starting lines. We start with the visiting New York Rangers, who lead the series 3-2, but have dropped the last 2. First line consisting of Artemi Panarin, Vinny Trocheck, and Alexis Lafreniere. Second line is Chris Kreider, Mika Zibanejad, and Jack Roslovic. Third line is Will Cooley, Alex Wenberg, and Kaapo Kakko. Fourth line is Jimmy Vesey, Barclay Goodrow, and Johnny Brzezinski. Defensive pairing started with Ryan Lindgren, Adam Fox. Second pairing with Keandre Miller and Jacob Trouba reunited as a pairing. And the third pairing, Eric Gustafsson with Braden Schneider, with Schneider being reunited with Gustafsson. Igor Shesterkin manning the crease here as the starting netminder. Jonathan Quick is the backup. Healthy scratches with Zach Jones, Chad Marino, Louis Domingue, Adam Edstrom, Philip Keto, and Matt Rempe, with Keto out for precautionary reasons due to what is described as an illness. For Carolina's projected lineup, starts with Jake Gensel, Sebastian Aho, and Andrei Svechnikov. Then Teuvo Teravainen, Jordan Staal, Seth Jarvis on the second line. Jordan Martinook, Jack Drury, Martin Necas on the third line. And to round out Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Evgeny Kuznetsov, and Stefan Nason on the fourth line. Defensive pairing starting with Jacob Slavin and Brent Burns, followed with Brady Shea and Tony DeAngelo. And to round out Dmitry Orlov with Jalen Chatfield. Anderson to be starting in net. Pyotr Kochetkov, after backstopping the last 3 games, he'll return to being the backup goaltender in a 1B role. Healthy scratchers of Max Comtois, Brendan Lemieux, Dylan Coghlan, Ryan Suzuki, Jackson Blake, Scott Morrow, Bradley Nadeau, Spencer Martin, and Ronan Seeley. Injured players are the aforementioned Brett Pesce and Jesper Fast. Fast had 2 overtime winners in the playoffs last year for Carolina, one against the Islanders and the other against the New Jersey Devils. Kreider did not take practice on Wednesday, but participated in the optional morning skate on Thursday. He confirmed he will play. The Rangers swapped their second and third defense pairs in practice, reuniting Miller with Trouba and Gustafsson with Schneider. Plus, Brodzinski will replace Matt Rempe on the fourth line. Carolina did not have a morning skate this Thursday, and although Pesce returned to the lineup, he will miss his 9th straight game. So as we go on forward, everyone's now out onto the ice here. Between the Rangers and the Canes, it's a packed madhouse here at PNC Arena. Mix of Rangers fans, but it's a majority of Hurricanes fans. They're all getting loud here as everyone's making their final points at the NHL and TNT booth. If you're tuning in for the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers later tonight, my good friend John Ott has you covered. He'll cover that late game. Soon enough, we'll have the puck drop for this game. If the Rangers win, they'll move on to host either one of the Florida Panthers or the Boston Bruins. If the Hurricanes win, we'll have a Game 7 at Madison Square Garden on Saturday. Between the Oilers and Canucks is Game 5 of that series. Both teams split the first 2 games. It's been Canucks, Oilers, in a rotating order of that sort. The Canucks winning Game 1, the Oilers winning Game 2, Canucks Game 3, Oilers Game 4. Every game has been decided by 1 goal. 5-4 Canucks in Game 1, 4-3 Oilers in Game 2 in the first overtime, 4-3 Canucks in Game 3, 3-2 Oilers in Game 4. Knowing the pattern may be 3-2 Canucks in Game 5, then 2-1 Oilers in Game 6, 2-1 Canucks in Game 7 if this pattern continues on. Going back and forth in a 1-goal game switcheroo. We're now on to Raleigh, North Carolina, the state capital, as everyone's coming inside after tailgating, having some nice barbecue. Carolina barbecue, that is. Canes fans waving their towels here loud and proud. Wanting to have the series go to a 7th game. It is just Shesterkin in net for the Rangers. 7-2 thus far in the postseason with 233 GAA, 924 save percentage, but he's allowed 3 goals or fewer in 31 of his last 32 starts. The low exception, Game 4 of this series. Freddie Anderson, back in net in his last 2 games, he has stopped 42 of 46 shots. 6-3 record, 246 goals against average, and 902 save percentage. It is Mika Zibanejad's line, the second line of the Rangers, up against the Jordan Staal line. Teravainen, Stahl, and Jarvis against Kreider, Zibanejad, and Roslovic. Here we go. Game 6. Rangers and Hurricanes. Immediately, the Rangers on the attack. Left side, Kreider trying to set up in front for Roslovic. It is Fox on the hold. Bouncing puck goes out for center. Is picked up by Jarvis. And our first whistle, 12 seconds in. Our referees tonight, Francis Chiron and Steve Kazari. Linesmen are Ryan Daisy and Devin Berg. The stick got caught in between his skates for Carolina, with Kreider being on the entry. And immediately we have the whistle. The faceoff will stay in the Carolina zone to the left of Anderson. Zibanejad and Stahl again. This time it is Stahl winning the faceoff. Kreider beats out Chatfield, but is snagged away by Orlov, the 7 in black. Onto the right side is Jarvis. Carolina looking to get the game's first goal here. Stahl started this one for Jarvis at the far corner. Mashed up by Fox. Trying to poke this one free. Stick lifted by Kreider. Jarvis stays with it. Stahl taps it backwards. Intercepted by the Rangers. They get this one out. Orlov backhand is one aside, but it lands onto the stick of Roslovic. Roslovic shoved by Orlov at the near corner. Puck came loose. Chatfield failed to clear. Goodrow on the keep. Around and around this goes. Right behind it, Anderson played out for Orlov. Bouncing puck recollected at center by New York. It's Trouba. Reunited with Keandre Miller. Pass at the middle. Is cut away from Brzezinski and Shea Queers, the ex-Ranger. Tap forward by New York. Anderson will play this one out again. Looks to go Shea's direction. Bounce over his head and a Ranger's head. The Canes on the entry is Kuznetsov at the near side. Sent the cross to the trailer. Trying to make his way forward. I believe there was Nason. And sent around to the far corner to Kuznetsov. Rangers jump the passing lane. Clear it out. Back deep is Shea. It's an icing call as the Rangers inadvertently sent it too far. We're in the opening 125 of the first period. The Taos say cooking with oil, gas, and gravy. And at home, this is what they usually do, given that they're 16-5 in the Rob Brindamore era in home playoff games. Sebastian Aho loses the faceoff. And at the far side, the Rangers look to get this one out. It's over at center ice, at the Canes center ice. Slavin taps this one forward. It's a foot race to it. Shesterkin will cancel it out. At the far side, Schneider gets it forwards. Center up front, here's Trocheck taking this one in. Curl and drag move, give and go for Lafreniere. Pass intercepted by Carolina. Schneider on the keep. Rolls over to Anderson. Tracks this bouncing puck. He'll hold on. That's the first shot of this game at the 151 mark of the first. Trocheck, curl and drag over to Lafreniere and the give and go right backwards as it was a broken play at the Carolina end. It came over to Schneider, who was at the top of the right circle, in between that area and the right point, who just fired on Anderson as the Rangers win another face-off. Bouncing down low, could not be corralled down there. And the Carolina gets this one out. Is Schneider intercepting the clear. Brings it back forward. Roslovic across over to Lafreniere. Pass was cut away. And Carolina gets this one all the way out. Gustafsson will start it up again. Up for the left side is Trocheck, who waits. On the far side, Gustafsson fires this one wide over to the near corner. Schneider on the keep. This went over Trocheck's stick. Aho is the first one at the far wall. He'll send this one up. And it goes onto the benches. Peter Laviolette, 85-78 in the postseason as a head coach, including when he won a Stanley Cup back in 2006 with the Hurricanes. Carolina wants to get back to Lord Stanley's fabled trophy, though this time going up against Laviolette. On the power play, the Rangers were 34.5% in the first 7 games, but they have not converted on a man advantage in the last 2. Carolina wins the faceoff. The Rangers averaged 2 goals per game in the last 2 games. Carolina gets this one out. They were shoved at the near corner. D'Angelo looking to retreat. Kakko beat him out. Kakko at the far corner. Tight shot was turned away by Anderson and the keep in by Ryan Lindgren. Deep shot is loose in front at the slot. Comes out. Held in by Adam Fox. A turnaround shot. That is wide over to the right of Anderson. Wenberg can't keep. It'll be Jack Drury recollecting at the far wall. Poked forward. Still not cleared out. Now it is. Bouncing puck is recollected by Carolina at the far side of the ice. Shesterkin shuts down Marty Necas and holds on to it. Electrifying start for New York Rangers. Will Cooley was tied up at the low slot. He also tried to deflect one right onto Anderson. Might have grazed off the left post. And the lead pass way right behind the defense. Adam Fox was racing back to catch up to Natchez on the counterattack. Shesterkin shut it down, tracking this one on the partial break. This faceoff will come over to his left. False start on the faceoff. Barclay Goodrow is tossed out. Mika Zibanejad is going to come in his place. Jordan Staal to take the faceoff opposite Zibanejad. Tie up. It now goes over to the near side with Goodrow trying to chip it over to himself. Can't do so as Chatfield is on his face. Feed over to Orlov at the near boards. Opposite side, here's a pass up the wing for Teravainen. Gets slowed down. On the trailers, Chatfield got his stick lifted by Zibanejad. Puck loose right behind over to Kreider. That puck was poked free. And it reaches Shesterkin at the opening free 20 of the game. Jordan Staal was right on the doorstep. With Carolina going the distance of the ice with Teravainen spun around by Keandre Miller. The trailer, Chatfield, was right there. He located it. The stretch pass by Orlov over to the open Teravainen. Thought he had a lane, but Miller saved him there. And a good job by New York to shut down any possible shooting lanes. Second playoff meeting between the Rangers and the Hurricanes in a best-of-7 series. DeAngelo loads one up. Good block in front by the Rangers, and that goes out. Might have reached Shesterkin nonetheless, but that was a bomb from the point by the ex-Ranger DeAngelo. If it goes both ways on both sides, who knows who favors. Here's Brodzinski, coast to coast. For the near boards, this one fired wide. Rangers on the keep by Jimmy Vesey. That one also goes wide. Another keep by Jacob Trouba. Back behind the net, a shove on Vesey. Carolina picked it up. Here's Nason at the near boards. At his own zone. This one deflected inside. This will reach Shesterkin. Awkward bounce off a Carolina Hurricane. On to the point. This pass poked away. That was Brodzinski who got this one out. Carolina recollects. Jacob Slavin will send this one up. 4 minutes gone in the first period. Still looking for the game's first goal. Trouba tic-tac-toes it along over to Miller. At the far boards, the Rangers get this one out off Miller. Burns and Slavin restart. Over to the far side, the pass too far for Jake Gensel. And the Rangers get this one over to center ice. Kreider casually handing this one for Rozovic. The pass deflected up and scooped up by the Canes. Rozovic held it in. Here's Zibanejad, tried to toe drag his way around. Svetikov bouncing puck, lands on Gustafsson. And at the far corner, it's Carolina out of it. We're the far boards. Gensel twists and a turn. Kreider there. Burns picks it back up. Slavin, Svetikov. Can't get it out. Tie up. Now it's up the center. Moving it up is Schneider, who fires around through the near boards and scooped up by Svetikov where thought it was. Just before Carolina gets it out, it's over to Ranger end. Schneider will pick this one up at his own zone. Watching it's Jordan Staal. Full scale changes. Staal watching over Schneider's movements. Left side he goes on the pass. Staal deflected that pass. It's up, bouncing down to the ice. Here's Jarvis on the pickup. Jarvis' shot was blocked in front by Schneider. Trying to get his pass back up. Teravainen got tied up. Can't find Chatfield as the Rangers intercept the lane. Chatfield over to Orlov through the far boards. He's moved up for Staal. Staal on the entry to the far side. Chatfield's shot was blocked away by Shesterkin. And the Rangers will move this one up. 5:30 into the period. Lafreniere's pass took a double deflection. And it's a give and go pass. Lindgren fed it to himself. Got shoved towards the far corner. Staal picks this one up opposite what I believe is Panarin. And the pass back for Orlov. We have more changes. Dmitry Orlov with Kaapo Kakko on his face. Orlov trying to go left and right to full Kakko. At the far side, the pass up for the wing to Jack Drury near side. Drury fires it, caught by Shesterkin. That curling drag play again with Jack Drury initiating it on the fourth shot by Carolina. The stretch pass once more. And a feed onto the opposite side. This time is Drury taking the shot using Adam Fox's body positioning to take away Shesterkin's vision for the most part. Shesterkin saw that the screen was coming his way and gloved this one down. Drury is out there on the ice with Natchez and Martinook, the third line for Carolina. Trouba and Miller out there defensively for the Canes. Clean face-off win, but so clean and it went all the way to Carolina's ice. Shea will have to restart. Across for D'Angelo. D'Angelo's pass over to the sin bin for Drury. Drury was sent across corner beyond the red line. First picked up by Miller, took a bounce off a skate and off for Wenberg this goes. Lee passed over to Kakko. At the near side, chip pass right over. This bounced off of D'Angelo and picked up by Cooley. At the points, Wenberg, who mishandled for a moment, held in by the Rangers. Up and about, Shea intercepted that shot pass and gets his one out. First one to the puck is Trouba. Carolina changes defensive pairings. At the left side, the Rangers will move it up. We're leading it 3-2 in the series at home ice. They're 4-4 engaged, 8-0 in the series. Here's Kotkaniemi. Give and go! That one couldn't fire home. And back the other way is Goodrow. He'll have this one tied up by Nason. Nason's passed over to Kotkaniemi. Can't be handled. Miller rights Kotkaniemi towards the near corner. At the opposite side, Nason on the keep. Down low for Kotkaniemi. Give and go for Kuznetsov near corner. And the pass in front for Nason. Couldn't be fired home. Burns can't deflect this one inside. Brozinski. At the far side, he'll shoot this one around. Anderson will play this over to Slavin. And around back for Burns, who kicks it to himself on the return feed. Zibanejad watching Burns. Tries to use his stick to deflect this pass away. Teravainen saved it for the moment. Here comes Chris Kreider. And just in the nick of time, that pass was poked away. One of the Canes got sandwiched towards the penalty box there with Seth Jarvis. Back the other ways, Roslovic setting up Zibanejad. Gustafsson fakes the one-timer. Anderson swept that shot away, and one of the Rangers falls down. And now here's a 2-on-1 back the other way. Here comes Carolina, high-quality chance. The pass for Stahl was blocked off. 12-10 to go. No score yet. Sent inside by Kreider with Orlov in pursuit of this puck. Orlov swept it away. Chatfield decked by Kreider. Not before Orlov helped him out, though. Free scoring chance for Carolina early on in this game. One for New York. At the near boards, it's Sebastian Aho on the entry, but offside is whistled at the 11:49 mark. So no offensive chance there for Carolina, despite them having the majority of the shots and the majority of the looks. It looked, and the chance was from Kuznetsov poking on the side. Jesperi Kotkaniemi just couldn't find Stefan Nason to tuck this one in. We'll be right back in just a moment. Puck possession is always vital in ice hockey. Jacob Trouba gets put in a bad spot when going on for a line change, gets stick lifted, and that almost bit the Rangers right back. The 2-on-1 as well between Seth Jarvis and Jordan Stahl. Adam Fox did a good job at blocking that pass over to the open Stahl at the left side. Played the pass and did it to perfection. Off the face-off, it's the Rangers winning it. They send this one in over right behind Anderson. Shoved towards right behind the wall. right behind Anderson's crease as the Canes take this in. Here's a quick shot that bounces over Shesterkin as he made the save. Martineau couldn't keep. Rangers picked this one up as Wenberg away from Natchez. Martineau got the forecheck. That's an in-your-face style forecheck in which they send it open. Carolina sent this one in. It is Ryan Lindgren at the far side of his own zone. Pivoting right behind Shesterkin as both teams make changes. Aho's out there at the near side. Skating this one up is Trocheck. Trocheck beating out Jake Gensel to this puck as it was sticked away. Back comes Sebastian Aho. Has Gensel with him and so is Svechnikov. The pass missed Svechnikov. Back the other way. It is the Rangers. Cross-ice pass to the open. Trocheck poked forward by Jacob Slavin. Return feed all the way back to the left point for the Rangers. Tie up at the far corner. Svechnikov and Lafreniere dares poke loose. Trocheck there. Miller faked the slap shot. It's at the opposite point for Jacob Trouba. From the half wall, this one fired wide, but recollected by Panarin over to Miller. Back for Trouba. At the right point. Back across. Panarin. Miller's one-timer was stopped in front by Anderson. Didn't know if it was blocked or saved in front, but it was a save. It seemed like Carolina iced this. 10-25. Make that 10-24. Good zone time for that Trocheck line up against the Aho line as they've dominated the Aho line for the first 3 games of this series. Good job on the pressure, and so Carolina's units can't get a change. 5 shots to 3, the shot totals in favor of the Hurricanes. They've outshot the Rangers in all 5 games of this series beforehand. Face-off tie-up. This will go over to the near corner. Kreider recollecting. Shot on goal. It's loose in front. Zibanejad turned away. That tight. And something here in the midst of it. We have a call. Braden Schneider had to be separated from the Hurricane that he was tied up with 10-13 left to go in the first. Carolina was changing. They have ruled this offside against New York. Jacob Trouba, the recipient of the Mark Messier Leadership Award, well-deserved, knowing that he exemplifies what leadership is with the Rangers, just as Mika Zibanejad has tossed out the face-off dot. Someone who doesn't complain, and someone who accounts for accountability. Rangers win the face-off after the offside call. Schneider saying this one in. This might have bounced over to the netting, and it did. 3 of the 5 games that were final in this series were 4-3 final scores. 4-3 Rangers in Game 1, 4-3 Rangers in double overtime in Game 2, 4-3 Hurricanes in Game 4. Trouba knows how to grow the game of hockey to the community around New York City and all around. Poke forward by Jordan Stahl after that tie-up. It's behind Shesterkin with Seth Jarvis shoved by Gustafsson. Stahl tried to poke it free, does so for Jarvis. Teravainen, that pass skipped over Stahl's stick. He was tied up. Chatfield also tied up at the far wall. Jarvis on the keep. One Ranger fell down. Chatfield saw this puck exit out to center. Now back this goes over to Orlov at the left point. Advance further down for Jarvis. Tied up by Gustafsson. Bouncing around. Teravainen picks it up. Who scoops it up? This takes a Kareem off of Zibanejad. And it lands onto Shesterkin, who just covered us up. And we have some words between Jarvis and Gustafsson. Officials separating the 2 hot players. And some disagreements with one another. And thus, this will take us to a stoppage. Rangers lead the series 3-2, but we have yet to decide the first goal of this game. We'll be right back in just a moment. So far advantage, Carolina here. It's the Hurricanes driving the play here in the opening half of the first period. So they won on our faceoff with Evgeny Kuznetsov on the tie-up. It's now picked up by Jimmy Vesey. Back this goes the Rangers' way. Brzezinski, stretch pass way too far. So go over to Anderson, who played over to the near side. Barclay Goodrow on the tie-up with Tony DeAngelo at the near corner. Back there, I believe it is Jesperi Kotkaniemi who scooped it up over to Kuznetsov. Going back for Kotkaniemi. Kotkaniemi on the backhand, airs this one over to Shesterkin, turn aside, loose puck over to left circle, recollected by Brzezinski. At the far side, it's New York with this. Goodrow's pass over Vesey. Carolina gets this one back. Corralled down center ice by Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov fires it off the glove of Shesterkin. Rushing there is Svechnikov. Trying to center for Gensel, who gets tied up by Jacob Trouba. At the near side, Slavin tried to keep. Lafreniere tried to clear. Svechnikov on the hold inside. Loose puck now scooped up by the Rangers. Lee pass over to the far side and set on through for Panarin, who gets sticked away by Aho but gets it back. Panarin on the hold over to Trouba. Trouba's long wrister was turned away by Shesterkin and off the linesman. Opposite boards is Panarin. Panarin starting pass. Trocheck couldn't deflect this one home. Trocheck on the keep on the backhand. Panarin behind the net. Sicked away and this bounces onto Miller. Holds this one inside. At the near corner, Lafreniere is tied up. Still holds onto it. Shaken loose by Slavin, and back this one goes over to Aho, who is chased by Lafreniere. Aho over the far side. Sent in by Carolina. Shesterkin will play this one out over to the near boards where Trouba's at. 7:45 to go here in the first period. Game 6. Should Carolina win, Game 7 will be on Saturday. Down the middle is Wenberg. Long shot was deflected out and went over to the netting with 7:36 left in the first. Jesperi Kotkaniemi was caught up with Ryan Lindgren shoving him towards the Ranger bench. Knocking it back down there, and Vinny Trocheck up against Sebastian Aho. That was Panarin up against Aho. And that looked to be a similar play as to what the Game 3 overtime winner by Panarin looked to be like. Trocheck could have banked this one home, and it was not between the legs. Alex Wenberg on the draw. He loses this offensive zone faceoff. Carolina on the clear. Picking this one up is Natchez, who looks to send across. He gets tied up. Trying to get this one back and does. For a split second before the Rangers recollect. For a split second again. And for the Hurricanes, they get this one up at the attacking zone. But the Rangers can't get this one over to go. Swiped away by Martinook. Gustafsson was tied up. Drury shoved towards the wall by Schneider and was poked loose again. Kakko recollects. Can't be cleared out. Shea's shot might have been deflected wide. Will Cooley now picking this one up. Shoved towards the Canes bench. Advanced further, but poked away by Kane's stick. Shea will lead this behind. 6:53 to go as Carolina moves forward. Natchez looks to drop pass it over to Shea, who corrals this one. Zibanejad still in pursuit, and continues to be so. DeAngelo's pass deflected forward. Stahl is chasing after it. At the near corner, backhanders will run away from trouble. Teravainen on the hold. On the trailer, this pass was into the danger area. Orlov keeping this one alive over to Jarvis. Loose puck out in front for Teravainen, and the Rangers were all over him. Lead pass now behind the fence. Here's Chris Kreider coming loose. He fires. This one's wide. Fox on to keep at the near boards. And taking down was Jack Roslovic. He's back up on his feet. Teravainen on his face. Far boards is a loose puck battle. It's a fierce kicked out over to the left point. Blocked on forward. This puck now comes to Carolina. Swept out. Almost held on by Trocheck. Jarvis was all over him. So was Chatfield. Trocheck still continuing to hold relentlessly. Trailer pass. Skipped over Panarin's stick. And Carolina makes changes with 5:50 to go. Trouba opposite for Miller and then back. He's hearing the boos. Panarin across. So land over to Lafreniere as he sends one inside. First there was Slavin, who sweeps away from Trocheck. Sent on through for Aho. Aho to the right side. Bounced on to Gensel. Jake Gensel picks one up opposite Miller. Sent on for Svechnikov. Svechnikov banked it on a crossover to the near corner. Bouncing puck over to Slavin. Then take a pinball bounce. And it lands onto the Rangers. Wide of Shesterkin. Entry pass over to Trocheck gets forced out by Slavin. And it now goes behind Anderson as the Rangers make changes. Just 2 shots on goal for New York, 7 for Carolina. That's the official shot totals with 5:08 to go, first period. Pass deflected, lands over to Burns. Goodrow on his face. 5 minutes ago here in the first period. The Rangers shoot this one back in. Anderson left this one over. The near course now picked up by Brodzinski. Tried to center it front. Shea was on his face. Shea cut it away. And moving over to the far side, this is Nason. Nason up through that side. Sends it this way over to Kotkaniemi behind the net. Gustafsson tied it up at the opposite corner. Sent it on through to Kuznetsov. Evgeny Kuznetsov walking the point. Bouncing puck in front. Shesterkin was down. The Rangers help him out. It's over to the red line. Gustafsson fires this one in. 4:30 to go in the first period. We still have no score. 8-2 are the shots in favor of Carolina. Thundering crowd here at PNC Arena. D'Angelo sends it up for the far side. Lost at center ice. And the Rangers recollect as Fox walking this one in. Fed behind for Cooley. Chopped away by Natchez. Fox also tied up. Poke loose. It's the Hurricanes with this. Near side Boris. Natchez fed it over. From Drury over to Orlov. Orlov walks us in over to the right side for Marnock. Marnock's pass missed Orlov on the mark. And the Rangers cleared this out. Recollected by Orlov as he looks to re-enter. Does so. Had it stripped away by Wenberg, and back the opposite way is Panarin. And the far side looking to beat out Stahl. Behind the net. Looking for some passing options. Back to the points, Jacob Chubas. Long shot went wide. Anderson may have caught a piece. Held inside by the Rangers' Trouba. Tees one up on the shot pass. Fired wide intentionally. Chatfield also tied up. Held inside his Trouba. Once again, swept away on the block shot off a stick. Trocheck also tied up at the near half boards. Also, there is Lafreniere. Marnock reemerges with this. Lafreniere on the keep. It's down low for Trocheck at the bottom of the right circle. Orlov and Stahl match him up. Bouncing puck in the far corner. Loose at the left circle. Rangers try to hold from Miller. And it's just barely held in. At the near corners, Lafreniere right behind Anderson. Pass out in front. Here's Panarin. Loose puck. Chatfield swept it away to prevent a shooting chance. And it's cleared out. What a grit and grind effort by Carolina to prevent the Rangers from getting the game's first goal. Jalen Chatfield, a valiant effort like a warrior. And chance of Freddie here at Raleigh. Bouncing puck corralled by Gensel. Opposite for Orlov. Or I meant Slavin. Jacob Slavin tried to toe drag his way through. The Rangers stayed with it. At the far side, New York moves up. It's Kreider who gets turned away by Anderson and is kept in play off the boards. Advanced further by Carolina onto the blue line and cleared out. Schneider recollects. Rangers re-enter. This is Gustafsson walking in. His shot was tied up. Gensel gets shoved away by Gustafsson but is helped out by Slavin. Jacob Slavin onto the right side for Aho. Opposite Zibanejad. Aho twists and turns. Looking for someone. That shot went wide. 2 minutes ago. Still no score here. But we're still looking for the game's first goal. Goaltending has been excellent for Igor Shesterkin. But also Freddie Anderson, despite the fact that he has not really been tested that much. Kotkaniemi drops it back. Let's go Canes chance here in Carolina. At the near boards is Kotkaniemi holding on to it. And they're going to call offside, it seems. And that was a lot of calling on the action. A well-deserved break for both sides. They get an ice scrapage, and then we get back into action. We'll be back shortly here from Raleigh. Still no score in Game 6. Madison Square Garden is hosting a watch party for this game. All the seats are filled out at the first level of all the sections. They love to have their Rangers score. The Jumbotron has been lowered at MSG. At PNC Arena, it's been a packed crowd of red jerseys, black jerseys, and some blue jerseys. Even some white ones for these visiting teams. There's Lindgren emerging from this. Gets it out across the red line. Chatfield on the advancement. It's at the far wall. Wenberg gets tied up. Here's Drury. Drury sends it down low behind Shesterkin. Rangers trying to clear. Can't do so. It's Orlov on the hold. Marno got in front. Natchez scores! Marty Natchez! At last, late in the first period. The game's first goal. As that sign says at Raleigh, you can bet that Hurricanes fans are believing in the impossible. Dreams can come true. The beauty of the playoffs. Drury fires this one right behind Shesterkin. Lindgren couldn't clear this one out. It's a good hold by Orlov to keep this one as it comes behind Martinook as he sets up from Wayne Gretzky's office. Right behind Shesterkin. Great hold by Orlov. Natchez roofing this one at the top right corner. And the celebration's on. That's one, but you can bet Canes fans are wanting more than just one goal. But one goal is what can take to shift momentum. The one goal may not be enough. Here come the Rangers at the far side. Goodrow can't get this one on goal as that was blocked off a stick. One Ranger went down at the last minute of the first period. Canes fans on their feet here in Raleigh. Inside, this is Kotkaniemi dumping this one up. Nason tees one up, is kicked out by Shesterkin. At the left circle, Miller poked it loose. Goodrow opposite side. And it's cleared out by Jimmy Vesey. Back deep is Jacob Slavin to get this one up with 40. Slavin serving his passing lanes through the near side. Taken up by Teravainen. On the chip pass on the dump in. Near corner recollected by Lindgren. Lindgren trying to get this one through. Canes recollected. Feed over to the slot for Jordan Stahl, who can't get a shot away. Stahl holds this one inside. Here's Teravainen. Right circle. Shesterkin saw this one coming. Stahl on the hole with 16. Poked on the backhand. Pass too far for Stahl. Rangers recollect. And up through center ice to the right side. Here's Panarin. Panarin tries to cross ice this through. Can't do so. 5 seconds ago. Trocheck tied up. It's loose in front. Now behind the net. The Rangers will not get one last shot off. Martin Natchez has the first goal of Game 6. 1-0. Carolina leads. Natchez his fourth from Jordan Martinook, his second assist, and Dmitry Orlov his fourth assist. And Canes fans are believing and believing hard. Well, we come right back to you. We'll have the first intermission report coming right to you. I'm Alec Nava. See you then. First intermission report. Right here, right now, it is Carolina up 1-0 here in Game 6, trying to force a Game 7 at Madison Square Garden on Saturday. That's what's at stake. If they don't do so, the Rangers will advance and host either the Florida Panthers or the Boston Bruins in the Eastern Conference Final, trying to make it back there for the second time in 3 years. Carolina's looking to become just the 5th team in NHL history to reverse sweep an opponent in the playoffs and the 6th team overall. The 5 teams prior were the 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs in the Stanley Cup Final, the 1975 New York Islanders, the 2004 Boston Red Sox, who won the World Series that year. They reverse swept the New York Yankees, and 2 of their games went into the extra innings as well. The 2010 Philadelphia Flyers, who trailed Game 7 3-0 as well, won 4-3, winning the series 4-3 as well. And the 2014 Los Angeles Kings, who won the Stanley Cup that year, overcoming a 3-0 series deficit in the first round against their Northern California rival, San Jose Sharks. So no score up until the 1838 mark of the first period. Martin Necas from Jordan Martinook and Dmitry Orlov. Freddie Anderson hasn't been tested a lot, but he has stopped all 3 Ranger shots. Igor Shesterkin is 9 of 10. If we go around through the team stats from both sides, we start with the team stats. It's taking a while to load on the ESPN side, but shots are 10-3 Hurricanes. Hits are 16-5 Rangers. So the Rangers, despite not getting Matt Rimpey onto the lineup, they have the majority of the hits, being the more physical team. Carolina's taking 10-17 faceoffs. The block shots are 10-4 Carolina. Takeaways 3 apiece. Giveaways, the only 2 by Carolina as well. Neither side was penalized in the first period. It's been a pretty disciplined first period. By all the stick checks, all the hits. But this is the playoffs that we're talking about. Anything can happen in the postseason. Whether it be the insanity or the absolute chaos that can ride there and in between. So the later game in the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight, the Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks playing at Rogers Arena for Game 5 of that series. They're tied 2-2, with each team swinging the first 4 games. Vancouver won Game 1, coming back from down 4-1 to win 5-4. It's the 3rd time in the last 8 years that the Oilers have given up a 3-goal lead in the playoffs and lost. But this time around, it was not in the final 3 minutes, but they did give up 2 goals in a span of less than 10 seconds. Nikita Zadorov followed up by Connor Garland. Oof. But they did rebound Game 2 on an overtime winner by Evan Bouchard. Game 3, it was tight. Vancouver had it their favor all throughout. If Artur Shilov's backstopping in Vancouver on the way to the victory with 41 saves. Last I checked. Game 4, the Oilers inserted Calvin Pickard in the net with Stuart Skinner mightily struggling yet again. They have said that Skinner statistically is the worst playoff goaltender right now in the current era, and also overall among the current active goaltenders. That is very rough as well. But Edmonton, they made the switch, and what it looked like that game was going to overtime off a Brock Besser tying goal with 1:41 to go. Just 61 seconds later, Bouchard has his 2nd game-winning goal of the series. That gave Edmonton the victory, and to tie up the series again. The other game that's worth pointing out, the Denver Nuggets have a chance to finish off the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. The game will start at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And the game is at Target Center at Minneapolis, Minnesota. So one tweet says, can't spell Canes without Necas. Well, yeah, Kane. So Necas is indeed an anagram of, Canes. Interesting note. So the Nuggets and Timberwolves at 8:30. A chance for the Nuggets to send the Timberwolves watching from their couches. Jamal Murray is a game time decision. The only ones that we do know are confirmed to be out: Colin Gillespie and Vlatko Cancar. For the Nuggets, they're both out for the year. Their estimated return dates are October 1st and August 1st. Jalen Clark is out for the remainder of the season. Cancar has been ruled out for the entire season. He has not played in any of the Nuggets games. Clark is the only one that's out for the year. Score lines have gone like this: Timberwolves 106-99 in game 1, then 106-80 in game 2. It's been all Nuggets ever since. 117-90 in game 3, 115-107 in game 4, 112-97 in game 5. Rudy Gobert has been a great post defender. Or paint defender, I meant. Not much of a arc defender, and that showed. Though the meme came true. Nikola Jokic, after 23 seconds of perfect defense, finding ways to make shots. The meme came true in Game 5. He entered Game 5, 11 of 28, with Gobert as his primary defender in the 3 games in which Gobert played in this series. He went 8-9 against Gobert as his primary defender in Game 5, 15-22 overall, with a 40-piece. So, as of right now, we do have some MLB games. They're underway. And the final score that we can confirm: the New York Yankees defeated the Minnesota Twins 5-0. In a valiant effort by Yankee faithful, getting the win for them was Clark Schmidt, the number 36, starting for them. Joe Ryan, credit with the loss. Schmidt played 8 innings, delivering 8 strikeouts, and limiting the Twins to just 3 hits. What a day it is for this fella. Victor Gonzalez was the only pitcher outside of Schmidt that was used for the Yankees because of how great Schmidt was. Anthony Volpe had the home run for New York, which was the only home run of this game. Alex Verdugo with the sacrifice fly to left that scored in Juan Soto was the last score. Aaron Judge scored in on RBI double. And Anthony Rizzo ground out to first base. Verdugo scored in on that. Not to mention of the second baseman Gleyber Torres also playing a factor in this game. Torres with an RBI double that scored in Judge, and he also scored on RBI base hit by the catcher. That being Austin Wells, the 28 in the pinstripe, in the white and the stripes. No scoring for the Twins at all. I mean, at all, despite the fact that they had just 3 hits. But what a dreadful sequence of events it is for the Twins in that game. We'll be right back with the second period on the horizon here on the Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm Alec Nava. Stay tuned, everyone. We're set to go here for the second period, Game 6, Eastern Conference Semifinal. Hurricanes lead 1-0. The lone goal by Martin Necas, the assist from Jordan Martinook and Dmitry Orlov. Peter Laviolette, the head coach of the Rangers, he is familiar with the Hurricanes. He won the Stanley Cup with them back in 2006. His disciple Rod Brind'Amour was the team captain for that year's Stanley Cup run. And now Brind'Amour is the head coach of the Hurricanes. Nice job turning this franchise around as the coach of them. Coached them to their first playoff series victory since 2009. The Rangers have 3 shots in the first period, the fewest in a single period this postseason in which they had. Not the way that they want to start things off, but take into account the Boston Bruins had periods where they had just 2 shots on goal in the first period in Game 5 against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Game 6 where they had just 1 shot against them in the Leafs. So we're underway here, second period. Here we go. The Hurricanes looking to expand this lead to 2-0, but the Rangers keep this one in. As Kreider, centering pass was knocked away by Chatfield. Or Orlov, rather. Pass down low for Zibanejad was out of the reach. This puck reaches onto Anderson on the takeaway. And he'll hang on to it 22 seconds deep into the second. Just the 4th shot of the game for the Rangers, but they need to have more than just 4 shots. Because this is not going to work, and it's not sustainable all throughout the game. 1938, second period. That's where we stand at. We're 22 seconds deep. The Trocheck line gets out there. So Artemi Panarin is out there on the ice with his line mates Trocheck and Alexis Lafreniere. On the face-off is Sebastian Aho going up against Trocheck. Trocheck is tossed out. Lafreniere will slot in his place. Off the tie-up is Aho emerging with some help. Opposite wing for Svechnikov. This one cleared out. Reaching there is Gensel. Opposite side, this one past Aho. Recollected by Fox in his own zone. And around this one goes. On the hold is Gensel. Around for Aho to give and go. Here's Gensel. This shot went up high. And over goes at the far wall, where it's deflected backwards over to Shesterkin, who places one out. Bouncing puck moved ahead past Lafreniere and out. Burns saying this went back inside. Deflected by his teammate. Gensel there behind the net. He gets hauled down by Ryan Lindgren. We stay 5-on-5 for the moment. No arm is up in the air. Aho turns around and fires one over to the far corner. The official had to duck. Eric Gustafsson tried to clear. Can't do so as Gensel trying to poke this one through. Kane's holding along for the point. Backhand pass over to the far corner. Svechnikov and Lindgren get tied up with one another. Swept away several times. Drury on the keep. Martinook one-timer for the left point. It missed the net entirely and swept out by the Rangers. Drury recollects it over at center ice and sent inside. It's Panarin collecting this one up, scooping it out. Martinook give and go over to the right side for Necas. Necas goes over to the high slot while backhand is over. Centering pass was wide. And this was deflected out of the play. It seems up in the netting. Didn't know where it was for a moment. We're 1:40 into the second period. Everything going in motion right now for Carolina as they're continuing to have the better looks. Teuvo Teravainen, Martin Necas along for the crashing and banging along with the boards, in which is set up that goal. Good play by Jordan Martinook on the backhand pass. What a feat that was. Face-off win by Kuznetsov, walking the point all around. The cross-ice pass from Shea to Kuznetsov was a little too far to connect. And over to the far corner. This gets centered on in front. Pietrangelo saw this one go over a stick. Here's a 2-on-2 back the other way. Vesey trying to send this one up from chipped on forward over to the near corner. Recollected by New York. Trying to get the tying goal. As a hand pass signaled. We're 1:56 into the second. And Jimmy Vesey on a second stint with the Rangers. Looking to get things up for his team. It seemed a natural fit. Vesey with the Rangers, knowing that he's familiar with them all throughout. Alex Wenberg tied up on the draw by Jack Drury. Loose puck now picked up by Trouba, who sweeps this one in. Orlov will recollect it. And we have a call here, I believe. This is a high stick against the Hurricanes. Jordan Martinook, it seems. Two minutes. So the Rangers power play looking to get on the board. They have not been on the board ever since game 2 of this series, but stick positioning is so important. They got Kakko up on the face. Martinook is trying to make his case, but there is no argument here. It is a high stick, and so that'll get the blue shirts on the man advantage. Panarin has 9 points on the playoffs. They're 4 for 9 the first 2 games, but 0 for 8 in the last 3. After going 6 for 16 against Washington in the first round sweep. Around this goes down low. And this one made its way over to Anderson off the tip. It took a wild deflection on a shot from Adam Fox. Was deflected in front by Kreider. Anderson saw it all the way. He knows that Kreider can get those tips in front. Right at the low area of the slot. And he shut that one down. That was the Rangers' 5th shot of this game. Trocheck, Zibanejad, Kreider, Panarin, and Fox is the first power play unit. Face-off is won by the Rangers. Here's Fox on the deep shot. Could not materialize as it's held inside by Zibanejad. Could not be scooped up by Kreider. Now the Hurricanes uplift this. At the far side, Fox was tied up. Panarin helps him out. Panarin will move this one up over the center. Sent over to Trocheck. Trocheck gets canceled off. Panarin across. Over to Zibanejad. He'll just shoot this one around for the far boards. Recollected the near side. Panarin on the keep. Bouncing around. Carolina blocks this one off. And here could be a 2-on-1. Here's Slavin trying to make his way by. And his backhand was stopped in front. And a crash towards the net. And a goaltender interference penalty. Wipe off the goaltender interference penalty. And wipe off the Rangers power plays. A cross-checking call on Chris Kreider on Seth Jarvis. I thought that would be a goaltender interference penalty. Instead, it's Kreider for cross-checking 2 minutes. He'll sit down. Have 118 of 4-on-4. Kreider visibly pushed Jarvis towards Shesterkin. The officials saw that and called Kreider for the cross-check. No goaltender interference. Though Jarvis was coming full steam ahead, trying to deflect the pass from Slavin right inside. More room to maneuver. But at the expense of 2 players. So false start. On Drury, Natchez will take his place on the draw. Queen face-off win by Wenberg. Shesterkin will leave it to his right for Trouba. He protects away from Drury. Drury pressuring at his face. Will defer over to Kakko. Previous wearer at the number 24 was one of the former captains of the Rangers, Ryan Callahan, who is now at the NHL and ESPN booth, primarily working with Bob Wischusen. That pass poked away by Natchez. He'll send it backwards. 55 on the 4-on-4. And backwards this goes again. Here's Natchez moving it up through center. Has Orlov with him, drops it over to him. Orlov will skate this up for the far wall. Held inside, walking the point is Slavin. Over to the near boards is Drury, and it's sent right back over to Slavin. The one-timer is canceled off. Natchez tried to hold, had it poked away, Slavin on the keep. Back for Natchez goes, down low. Orlov is open, Natchez decides to shoot, Shesterkin shut it down. Puck comes back over to Natchez. And it hops over Slavin's stick, he'll recollect. 25 seconds on 4-on-4 action. Just before we get the first player back out. In a truncated power play for the Hurricanes. Sent up across. And back this goes over to Kane Sanford, Sebastian Aho. 12 on the 4-on-4. Slavin going backwards. 8 seconds until Martinook returns. And most likely going to skate straight away to the bench. Aho waiting timeout for the power play to get onto the ice. And so the power play starts. 40 seconds of power play time. As they go coast to coast, left side. Maneuvering for center. To the right side is Svechnikov. Andrei Svechnikov on the drop pass over to Aho. No one-timer there. This is kept in play off the boards. Jarvis kept it inside on the attempt to clear. Jarvis to the net. Shesterkin shut it down. Puck loose. Svechnikov tried to keep. He has it. Back over to Jarvis at the right point. Jarvis walking the point over to Svechnikov at the top of the right circle. And back deep is Brady Shea. Over to Svechnikov again. Svechnikov once more looking. Pass down low. Behind the net. They score! On the power play. Tipped home by Seth Jarvis. It is 2-0. A very short power play for Carolina. No worries for them. Jarvis tips it home for just a second man advantage goal by the Canes in this series. And 2 is, choose are crazy. Power play goal number 2. Goal number 2 for Carolina in period number 2. Jarvis saw the loose puck trickle past Shesterkin's pads. You have someone wearing a Stormy mask here at Raleigh, North Carolina. It is 2-0. The Hurricanes with the advantage in shots 11-4 right now. Sent over to Shesterkin under Sage. He'll have to cover this one up. Carolina's energized. They're bringing a different sense of vibes here at Raleigh. What a turnaround. The Hurricanes keep ripping at it over towards Shesterkin. The loose puck went right by him. You cannot pinpoint this goal on Shesterkin. He tried to get most of it. Well, he got most of it, but not all of it. It skipped right by his pads. That puck had some speed in it to go right by him. Just the second power play goal of this series for Carolina. Do remember that. We're 5 minutes removed here in the second period. Already has 2-0 Canes. They're back on the attack. Kuznetsov down and around at the near corner. Deflected forward. The Rangers trying to get this one out, and they do. Rushing back is Brady Shea. Trying to get this one inside. Can't do it. Jimmy Vesey sends this one through, and it's gloved down by Anderson. Carolina still alive here. They didn't hear no bell. Just like what Randy Marsh said in that one episode of South Park. 5 goals, 4 assists, 9 points. With the 5 goals leading the Hurricanes throughout the playoffs. Canes fans are trying to put the jinx on Shesterkin and to carry this on furthermore. Honestly, I can't blame them. Carolina's back in this, and they're energized all throughout. Here's Lafreniere trying to go inside, around the defense, pass over to Panarin at the Swats. This one goes wide, the rebound scooped up by Carolina. Can't get out. Panarin, oh, he scores! Anderson thought he had this puck. It trickles right by him and into the net it goes. The Rangers are within 1. Then starts with a quick face-off win off the dot. Lafreniere fighting Panarin in front. And there's chaos ensuing right when it hits. Right on the attempt to clear, Panarin just quickly reacted to it, seeing that there was an open puck. Great work by the Rangers to keep it in. This puck, his goal credit to Trocheck, the ex-Hurricane, for 6 of the playoffs. Panarin on the quick keep. And he, with Anderson stumbling right behind, trying to quickly react to this puck going right through. The Rangers still in this. Here's Kreider. Kick save. Roslovic picked up. Loose puck in front. Anderson shut it down on Kreider. The left skate got tied up. He kind of stumbled as he was trying to get back in position. Has an oopsie right through. I'm not sure if there has to be something that has to be tweaked for Anderson if he has to visit the equipment manager for the Canes if he were to get this fixed. But it's a 1-goal game once again. Just 50 seconds after the goal by Jarvis on the man advantage, the Rangers respond on the 5-on-5 with Anderson collapsing down. False start against Jordan Staal. Seth Jarvis will take his place. And it's won by Jarvis. Cleared out, over to center ice. Miller's racing after it, picks it up away from Staal. Trouba's pass is fanned. Staal keeps it and he stumbles, regains footing. Roslovic gets back to him. Trouba trying to pickpocket him. Terrifying on keep. Jarvis's pass went right over his stick. Chatfield keeps it inside, right behind Shesterkin. Can't get it out, it's terrifying on the keep, right around. Staal slowed it down over to the near corner. This goes. Tied up. Several times he stick lifted. Loose puck recollected by the Rangers and cleared out. Carolina recollects onto the wade offside against New York. Teravainen can't enter it. Now he does. From the top of the left circle, shot is blocked off. Loose puck up front, recollected by Roslovic, and will send it over to Kreider. Chris Kreider through center. Over to the far side, sends it through, and goes off for a line change. On across this goes where it is Carolina with this puck, Tony DeAngelo. Also head to the far side. And up for the lane. Can't get this one to go. And up for there is Martin Natchez, who gets tied up at the far corner. Martinook helps him out. Tied up by Fox. Fox swept it away. Over to Wenberg this goes. Wenberg spun around behind. Shesterkin places one out. Holding his in his Natchez. A quick shot by Drury. And that was knocked down by Shesterkin. And Martinook had him play towards the near corner, who was tied up by Fox. Loose puck once again picked up by Natchez on another keep. Turnaround pass. Martinook down low over to Drury. He gets shoved out, or reverse the order. Martinook tied up down low. Canes fans wanting a penalty. No hand is up in the air. Still it's a tie-up. Puck is still loose. Lindgren fighting with Martinook for every inch. Natchez gets it out. Over to the far wall. Waiting there is Shea. Give and go around for D'Angelo. D'Angelo waits at the top of the left circle. Goes back over to Natchez at the right circle. Natchez behind the net. Now this comes out in front. This bouncing puck slipped right by a Ranger and back to Carolina ice. Shea up for the far side. D'Angelo can't get this one and he's cut away by Wenberg. Back the other way, entry feed for Lafreniere. Panarin is tied up. Taking this one away is D'Angelo, the ex-Ranger. One of two ex-Rangers on this team alongside Brady Shea. And recollected by Braden Schneider over to Gustafsson. Gustafsson up for the lane. Past the outstretched stick of Lafreniere. Burns to the far side. Several tips up front the Rangers keep. And back this goes where Anderson will leave for Shea. Shea, around this goes. Over to Burns. Burns onto the opposite side. As we're more than 8 minutes removed. Schneider is the first one there, no icing. Gustafsson fan on his pass. Caught Kanimis on his face. Just got this one out. Loose puck now picked up by Panarin. Panarin waltzes his way in on a cross. Schneider fires, kicked away by Anderson. Held in by Eric Gustafsson. This one up high and onto the far side of the boards. Held inside by Keandre Miller. At the far side, Vinny Trocheck. Back deep. Panarin sets up back deep behind the net for Trocheck. This one skipped over a stick. And back this goes to center ice. Trouba. Both faded over. Keandre Miller finding Trouba once again from Jimmy Vesey. Trouba sends it one inside. The first one to the puck in the near corner is Vesey. Six right by him and Slavin is back behind the net. Kept inside by New York. And the lead pass doesn't go anywhere. Anderson saw it. Aho trying to clear. Held inside by Miller. Pass Anderson. Wide the net. Gensel tied up. He'll send it backwards over to Burns. Slavin. Backhands one over to the near boards. Swept out. And a foot race for this puck. Here comes Sebastian Aho to the net. He scores! On a 2-on-1. The Hurricanes get a sea bass out of the ocean. Sebastian Aho, 3-1. Keandre Miller was caught with the Hurricanes going in an odd man rush back the other direction. Jimmy Vesey gets beat out. Trouba gets caught on an island as he was playing the passing lane, trying to shut off Jake Gensel. Gensel was presenting his stick in the event he were to get open. He was not open. Aho sees that the passing lane was closed off, fires it himself, far side, inside, and the Hurricanes back to believing again. 10:35 left to go here in the second period. The Canes surely believing here. 4 goals, 2 penalties in this game. Carolina up 3-1. Looking to force a Game 7 at MSG. Dmitry Orlov at his own zone. Across for Chatfield. Lead pass up front for Stahl, the captain. Stahl over the near corner, shoved by Ryan Lindgren. Seth Jarvis trying to get this one back. Falls down. Helped out by Teravainen. Across for Jarvis. Fox ties him up. Jarvis gets it back, however. Held inside the point, and around this goes. No shot from Orlov. Stick lift on Stahl. Back around the boards. Past the halfway mark of the second. Fox over to Zibanejad. Zibanejad clears this one out. Send it out front. Here's Chris Kreider, who gets tied up. And back comes Carolina. Backhand on to Shesterkin, who will lead this out for Gustafsson, just as Jarvis was right on his face. Lead pass for Panarin and on for, I believe it's Rozovic at the far side. Rozovic goes down, fell down on his own, lost his footing. Shea trying to poke this one away, does so, and Carolina moves this one up 2-on-2. Here's Natchez for the far side, twisting and turning, Spinorama, drop pass over to Shea, a shot, skate away, Shea recollects his own rebound. At the near corner, looking for some options, poked away several times. Natchez scoops it up, can't do so. And the Rangers on their own counterattack on their own 2-on-2. Panarin for Lafreniere. Lafreniere shoved towards the wall by Shea. Bouncing puck. Scooped up by Anderson on a circus save. Juggled it to himself. 9:04 remains here. Second period. And after the Vinny Trocheck deflection goal on a quick shot by Panarin, Sebastian Aho gets Carolina restoring their free 2-goal lead. They're up 3-1. We'll be right back. The Rangers' slogan is no quit in New York, but there's no quit in Carolina as well. These Hurricanes won't quit. Indeed, there is no quit in Carolina. Their side fired it past Shesterkin with the Rangers caught on a 2-on-1 odd man rush. They're getting it going at the right possible time. Jarvis from Aho and Svechnikov on the power play. Trocheck from Panarin. Aho from Svechnikov, and Slavin officially the third goal for the Canes. Face off at the Carolina end between Jordan Staal and Vinny Trocheck. Staal is getting tossed out because of the false start. 16-10, the shots on goal for the Canes. Hurricanes win the face-off with Slavin helping out. And Burns has ahead. Here's Jordan Staal. He slowed down. The pass behind, pickpocketed by Trocheck. And back the other way, losing his footing, was Panarin. Burns trying to shove away Panarin and Trocheck taking on two guys at the same time. Canes all over them on this in-your-face forecheck. Here comes Jordan Staal in the zone. Staal trying to waltz his way inside. The Rangers poke it through as Miller denying Staal another beauty like he did in Game 5. Here's Lafreniere back the other way. Lafreniere trying to windmill his way through. Can't do so. Moved around over to Seth Jarvis. Jarvis sent down low. And over to Miller, who picks this one up. Keandre Miller with 8:18 to go in the second. Miller with Svechnikov on him. Surveys. Opposite side for Gustafsson. Gustafsson gets his deep. The lead pass not there. Kakko, second entry successful. Alex Wenberg around. Will be recollected by Will Cooley at the near corner. Several chops at it. Kakko is down low. Centering pass not there. Skips over everyone. Schneider tried to keep. That lane was canceled out. Here is Gustafsson. Who fires the one around, but the near boards will be recollected by Shea. Shea will get this one out over to center ice, and the Canes can't get this one up. This is D'Angelo who is stymied, and Kakko will get this over far side. Can't find anyone to pass to. D'Angelo ties him up. On his backhand, gets this one out over to center ice to the left side. The Canes bring this one in. Here's Gensel! Shesterkin! Both shut it down. Will keep this one alive over to Wenberg to his left. 7:25 to go. Here's Kreider moving this one in. Kreider moving around through the far boards on this puck. Chatfield there. Drury also there at the near corner. Svechnikov airs this one out over to center ice. At the Ranger zone, Martinook tied up. Chatfield also arriving there. Zibanejad pried it free. 7:07 to go. Right on Fox's face was Drury. Great defensive center. Rangers get this one out as Kreider. Well, back end it's over to loose wire Lindgren. Oh, he's kept out at the last second. What a save by Jordan Martinook. Was it Zindo? We'll have to check to see the replay. Icing is called for the moment, but we'll have to check the frame by frame to see if this was in. So as Anderson started sweeping right by, Jordan Martinook just out at the last second. What a save by the Marty Party. He saved a surefire goal by Ryan Lindgren. Holy moly! Are you not entertained by these Stanley Cup playoffs? Nature's twisted down. Rangers trying to answer with anything at their disposal. They got within one, but they're now down by 2 after the Aho goal. And Anderson shuts down the Breadman. 6:19 remains here in the second period. The Stanley Cup playoffs are where heroes rise to the occasion. Sebastian Aho gets a goal to get the Canes up by 2. The unsung hero of the second, Jordan Martinook. We'll be right back. You'd think the puck was going straight in, but a tough play forced Jalen Chatfield to play one lane or the other. He played the passing lane. Ryan Lindgren got behind the defense. And what looked to be a surefire goal was the biggest save of the game by Jordan Martinook. Not by Freddie Anderson. Martinook, a skater, made the biggest save of this game. Are you not entertained? Here's Burns in the attacking zone. Pass Lafreniere behind the net. Cross-ice pass. Saul is tied up at the slot. No shot in there as there was a hit. Rangers trying to clear, and they do so. Canes resetting. Seth Jarvis positioned at the near boards. Pass up for the left side wing. Up for Stahl, gets tied up by Trouba. Hauled down. This allows Miller to pick this one up. Trouba to sweep it out, but Aho on the hold. Aho sets up in front. No shot from D'Angelo. That pass was too far for him. Return pass. Deflected up. It was intended for Teravainen and the Rangers clear. Shea gets this one inside. Shesterkin now with this, dropping it back over to Miller. Miller serving his options. Aho serving. And watching his actions. The pass over to the left side for Zibanejad. Kreider back out there. His Lions on the ice. Zibanejad forced wide. Tic-tac-toe pass is canceled out. Svechnikov back with this. Could be a possible 2-on-1. The pass across. Wiped out. And it goes out to center. Teravainen. D'Angelo mishandled. Here's Kreider. And the open man. And that pass was read all the way through. Making Zibanejad was the intended target. The Canes read the pass all the way. Rozovic braces himself for a big hit. Swept out by Carolina. It's been pandemonium here in Bedlam in Raleigh. They're up 3-1 of some big plays and big saves. Sebastian Aho, the 2-goal lead goal. Jordan Martinook, the game-saving goal, perhaps. Here comes Carolina onto the attacking zone. Quick shot was kicked up by Shesterkin. Lands onto Kotkaniemi. Toe drags his way through. And another save by Shesterkin as he stops some fancy moves by Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Nason tied up, trying to find the open lane wraparound, was shut off. Kotkaniemi holds to the far side of the board as he gets tied up. At the top of the left circle, back out to the left point. Held in for just a moment. The Canes fall down. Lead pass behind the fence. Second breakaway here for the Rangers. And that shot was cut off. What a defensive effort by Carolina to wipe out two potential breakaway goals. Will Coley back behind. Gets tied up by Orlov and shoved away. Gustafsson on the hold. Bouncing puck corralled down by Nason. Stefan Nason cross-cornered up over to the far side. Braden Schneider pass across back for Gustafsson, who gets it over to center. Free to go here in the second period. Let's go Canes, chance here in Raleigh. Schneider sells it down. He gets tied up for a moment by Natchez, and backwards goes for Gustafsson. Pass intercepted. Canes bring this back in. Drop pass back to the trailer. Jack Drury. He fires it up high and wide. Drury holds it over. And another drop pass over. Sent down low and around. Canes can't hold. The shot was not on the forehand. It was on the backhand. 3:05 remains. Burns will get this one around for the near boards. Sent to 4 on the backhand. Bouncing puck at the Ranger end. Cleared out. Slavin will restart with this his own zone. Near boards pass over to Natchez. The pass through the seam. Drury just got it in. Shesterkin gets this one back behind over to Trouba. 2:45 to go. Trouba across. Keandre Miller. Both send this one over to the near side. Here is Goodrow. Back behind for Freddie Anderson. Far corner pass. And out for center. It's a foot race. Jake Gensel hauled down. Some fans are going to want a penalty for that one. We say 5-on-5. Icing. 19-11 the shots for Carolina. But the game has been blown open. Some more. It's Artemi Panarin who's at the end of his shift. Jalen Chatfield poked it away at the last second. Down the other way is Jack Drury. Then moments after that, he rips it off the post. It appeared. Aho matched up with Trocheck on this draw. This matchup going to the Trocheck line's favor. Quick shot off the draw from the Rangers. Was blocked in front, lingering on the keep. Shot down by Andrei Svechnikov. Another big hit for the big man. 2:18 to go. Rangers looking for an answer. They need something because they've been outmatched in these last few games. Quick shot. Anderson shut it down. And another shove right afterwards. 3 shoves are all around at the Hurricanes' end. Fox on the hold. Center up front. Pass down low. Blocked off. Panarin on the keep. Right back. This goes for Fox. Fox looking the opposite side. Now across a one-timer. Panarin. And a loose puck out in front. Gensel gets this one out. Foot race for this puck. Will this be an icing? It is. Pandemonium at the Canes end. Tired bodies on the ice. 1:47 remains here in the period. And to remember, the other game tonight, the Oilers and the Canucks. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Tomorrow is the Panthers and the Bruins. Stars and Avalanche. 7 Eastern, 10 Eastern respectively. If the Canes hold on to win this on Saturday, Game 7 will be at 8 Eastern at Madison Square Garden. Zibanejad and Aho on the face-off. Line changes for the Rangers. Canes can't change because they've iced it. Zibanejad off the face-off. Set up for Trouba. Shot is wide. Behind that, Kreider tried to wrap it around. Anderson shut it down too. Aho swept it away. Miller on the hold. To the far corner. Twisted and turn. Canes get this one out. Bouncing puck over to the Ranger end of the blue line. Sent around for Zibanejad. Partial changes for the Canes as they get the Gensel line off. D'Angelo recollects over to the far side. Sent up. And up and around this goes over to Jarvis, who was on the entry. Chucked away by Trouba. Jarvis trying to stay with this. It's with the Rangers. Bouncing puck over to the left circle. Twisting and turn. Sent up for Teravainen. Big save by Shesterkin as he's trying to keep the Rangers in this game. Zibanejad is tied up. Rozovic will pick this one up. Here's a 2-on-2 the other way. The pass is way out of reach. Last minute of the second period. Pandemonium here at PNC Arena has been all sorts of chaos here on both ends of the ice. Jarvis tied up. Stahl helping him out. So it's a loose puck battle in no man's land. Jarvis probably loose, gets whacked at. Teravainen there, but also there were the Rangers. 43 left. This might have been sent it off the far boards behind the red line. Officials saw it. This might be a photo finish of a dump-in. They rule it icing as they thought the Canes were closer to the puck than the Rangers. And it looked like the Rangers are arguing that they were ahead of the Canes at the time of the dump-in, as Chris Kreider was trying to get out in front. Jalen Chatfield was right in his face. They have ruled it an icing, but it's so close to call. The face-off is to the right, Shesterkin. Now it's their turn to experience the effects of the icing. They have tired bodies on the ice. Here's Brent Burns. Burns with the high swat. This one stopped up high. Natchez on the hold over to Slavin at the right point. Around this goes past Marnook. Stahl holding. Marnook holding it at the far corner. Fired around over to the opposite boards to Slavin. Back behind the net. Zibanejad ties up Drury. Bouncing puck to the far wall. 18 seconds on the period. Loose puck redirected by Carolina. Here's Slavin's one-timer. Loose puck is kicked out by Shesterkin off the stick. Cleared out by the Rangers. And it's out of play with 8.9. 22-13 are the shots on goal for this high-energy Carolina team. Slavin fired that shot, and Shesterkin, seeing the rebound over to his right, swept it away just in time. Nobody was right in front of it to clean that one up. The Canes up 3-1, trying to send this series back to Madison Square Garden for a 7th game. Outside the Boston Red Sox, only one other team in the MLB has forced a 7th game after trailing 3-0 in a series. That was the 2020 Houston Astros up against the Tampa Bay Rays. They lost that in 7. 5 seconds to go. Carolina trying to get one last shot off, but they won't do so. And that'll end the second period. 3-1. And the Hurricanes are 20 minutes away from a Game 7. So they bring Andrew in here. Oh. I must say, Andrew, we could be witnessing history.
Imagine being in PNC Arena right now. Where would you rather be?
I would be rooting for our guys, Andrew.
Our guys? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Marty, Save of the Year by Marty?
Save of the Year indeed. How about it? Jordan Martinook, a Marty party.
A Marty party. Let's get Marty up in here, baby.
Oh, yeah. That is perhaps the best save of the playoffs. Forget about saves by goaltenders. We need to include saves by skaters as well. That was clutch. Be a hero. Be like Marty. Oh, guess who is here? Oh, here we go. It is 3-1, Game 6. Seth Jarvis, Vinny Trocheck, Sebastian Aho. All the goals have been scored by either part of the Hurricanes team or by former Hurricanes themselves. So we have Carolina connections all over the ice. And just imagine what we could be witnessing here, Ian.
You know what? Caused chaos. They picked the best hashtag ever. Alec. They just don't die.
Oh my God. I mean, your advice to me was to get Nuggets versus Timberwolves. I disregarded that advice, and it worked out nicely so far.
Yep, I was wrong. I was so wrong on that part. Yeah. Well, you know what? Tree just put out the notice. If the Hurricanes pull this off tonight, he will be streaming Rangers Canes Game 7.
Oh my God.
No jinx, Ian. No jinx.
No jinx, but
we're just believers.
Right. Oh, please.
Let this happen.
I need this. I need this dumpster fire so bad. I need it to be a dumpster fire episode, and so that we can see the bald man cry.
Oh my god. Does Ultimate Meme get transferred from Boston to New York if such a case happens?
I see. Here's the thing. No, I don't think so. Simply because, look, the Hurricanes made it past round 1. Okay, Boston did not. And truth be told, okay, let's be real. For how the Rangers won the first 3 games in this series, did we actually think the Hurricanes were going to be that bad?
No.
No, but Hurricanes, you never know. You never know.
Well, see, and that's the question, because the Rangers, while they are the first seed in the playoffs, here's the difference between them and Boston. Boston sported the greatest team in NHL regular season history. And everyone picked them to beat Florida handedly. Now, if the Rangers had lost to the Capitals, then yes, there would be a transfer of the Ultimate Meme, because, let's be real, the Capitals had no business. Hang on.
Hey, Sidney Crosby might have something to say about that being the greatest regular season hockey team of all time. That's all I gotta say.
Well, okay, by stats-wise, they are. But regardless, the fact is, Alec, the Capitals had no business being there. If the Rangers had lost to the Capitals, then yes, there would be a transfer. It's not just the fact that the Rangers made it to the second round. The Hurricanes have been doing this all season long. They look first they look bad to start the season, then they look good, then they look bad. It's all a matter of when do they realize they have talent?
How much of that was Svech coming up in big moments? He had a little lull there at the end of the regular season, but he has been picking it up these past 3 games, I will say.
Yep.
Yeah, so, again, it's not... Truth be told, if you think about it, the Hurricanes were probably the one team that was going to be a bad match for the Rangers, simply because the Hurricanes are so inconsistent, you don't know what they're going to be night after night.
Yeah.
So... And Igor, look, we all know Igor's just... Is Igor in net tonight?
He is. I have the notion that because of the double overtime victory and because of the amount of hockey that he has played in the first 3 games, perhaps he's getting a little burned out. Maybe that's my notion, but you never know.
Well, it's not a bad, it's not a bad take, because face it, the guy played in a double overtime game and has been rock solid. Of course he's going to get tired. I'm surprised. Honestly, look, I get you're trying to clutch out a series win tonight, but the Hurricanes have Uncle Mo on their side. They have momentum. I would say if this outcome was inevitable, give Igor the night off, plug in the backup, and who knows? Maybe with a fresh set of pads, the Hurricanes are up 3-1 on the Rangers going into the third. I don't know. I mean, who? Please check the depth chart, Alec, because I'm not in a place to do so.
Are we looking at Carolinas or New York's?
And please check the Rangers' backup goalie, please.
That would be Jonathan Quick.
Wait. So Igor's been going this whole time, but you don't trust Jonathan Quick to get you one game? Listen, I know he's
Game
not.
7.
Look, he's not the Jonathan Quick of old, but this is game 6. Like, you just need to win one more game. You think you really don't trust Quick?
And he had himself a revival this season.
Exactly. So what? I don't get it. I don't really understand, but okay. No, maybe I'm looking at this all the wrong way, but given that your primary goalie, has played all 5 games, and maybe that's the case for the Hurricanes starting goalie too, but if I don't know, I would think that the past 2 games you lost. Maybe it's time for something different. And if you're not going to make a line change, go ahead and turn to a veteran who has playoff experience.
So that would mean
years.
If you want a line change for the Rangers, if I'm them, it's taking a little too long to get this. Well, Philip Keedle, he's out tonight because he's sick. Yeah, so they can't go to that. The only other options at forward that they can choose from are Matt Rempe and Adam Edstrom, who are both 21 and 23. They've inserted Johnny Brodzinski into the lineup. He's 30 years old. He's a veteran who's had a somewhat decent season this year on a limited basis.
Right. So with that being said, Alec, since you're limited for your line depth, again, I get it. He's a veteran, but it's not like we're talking. Look, no disrespect to this player, but it's not like your backup is Jake Allen going into this. This is Jonathan Quick, a 3-time Stanley Cup champion.
Ian,
what up?
are you thinking save of the year by Marty there? Save of the year?
With the circumstances, with the context of this game taken into account, yes. It has to be.
Yeah, I'm going to post it up on the Jumbo.
Wait, Alec, are you saying that's save of the year by Marty there?
Save of the year, hands down.
Hands down. I agree.
That is so clutch. Everyone at PNC Arena have collectively stood up and applauded all in unison.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of that James Harrison pick 6 in the Super Bowl, if you remember that. You don't see it coming. Total game changer.
You don't see it coming. And not every time you see it coming, but it changes the momentum of the game.
Yeah. Definitely. Man, dude. I was wrong. I was wrong on this. You asked me, do I believe in the Hurricanes? I had my doubts, just because. But no, if they pull this off, there's no clear win. There's no clear favorite. Actually, the Hurricanes might be the favorite for Game 7. I don't know. Even though you have to go back to the Garden. That's where the Rangers play, right? The Garden?
Yep.
Yes.
You have to go back to the Garden.
Gotta say, little overrated. People can win there.
So even though you have to go back to the Garden, with what you've been able to do, I mean, this is... Alec, remind me again. The last reverse sweep in the playoffs was the Kings doing it to the Sharks, correct?
Yeah, that was the last time it happened a decade ago.
And as I recall, LA was the first round, right?
That was the first round. they went on to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I don't think if the Rangers don't pull it off tonight, they lose Game 7.
So you're saying this is an ipso facto Game 7, Ian?
I'm saying, well, by ipso facto, if that equates to if they lose tonight, they lose the next game. Yes.
Yeah. So you're saying this is the Rangers Game 7?
It feels like it. Yes.
It feels like it because what you've had now 3 opportunities to hang on. You've had 3 opportunities to drive the proverbial stake through the heart of. Sorry,
Oh, is that a dog?
But hey,
yeah, there are a lot of dogs.
Hey, if we can clutch this one out for the next 20 minutes, are we thinking of taking Justin Williams out of retirement for 1 game?
Justin Williams? Well, you'd best believe so. 1 game. 1 game is what it takes, Andrew.
You know what? I bet you anything. They've got him in cold and they've got him in cryo storage right now. They've just been, feeding him nutrients, keeping him healthy.
Yeah, just like Han Solo.
Yeah, just hit big red button if Game 7.
Oh, I would be in uproarious laughter should this go to a Game 7 and the Canes pull off the impossible.
Okay, so we've been looking at the Rangers as, this young squad ready to make noise. But if you give up a reverse sweep in the playoffs, you almost got to wonder, what else do you do to win? I mean, you had a 3. If this result holds for the next 20 minutes, and they ultimately lose this series, what more do you do? It's like, what more can you add to make this, do you basically go the Golden Knights route and trade all of your likable players for superstar talent and hope that the chips fall where they may?
Well, that's not about the part of what we mentioned as the LTIR glitch. Well, there is always that, but where there is belief, there is belief. And currently that belief lies with Carolina.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, man. I am hoping. I am speaking it into existence, Alec. We will have a Game 7, and ultimately we will have a reverse sweep.
Oh, I want to play that urinating tree clip from the Sharks Legacy of Failure video. Oh, man, that would be a glorious sight. Let's be honest. So, they'll have the third period up soon. So, shot totals are 20-14, Carolina after 2. Hits 22-12, New York. The Rangers are taking 22 of the 37 faceoffs. Each team has 1 penalty apiece. They had 1 minute and 18 seconds of 4-on-4 time. The block shots are 13-9, Carolina. Takeaways 7-5, Carolina. Giveaways, New York has 6, Carolina has 5. But it's been mostly a disciplined game. And the Canes have brought in the in-your-face style forecheck right on the Rangers, and that's bothered the Rangers in these last 3 games.
I just thought of it, Alec. If this happens like we want it to happen, you know what must be played at the final horn.
Here we go. Yeah, I have my I have my breath ready for that. And I won't resist, Ian. Yep, so now we're back at Raleigh, so just miles outside of downtown Raleigh. The tallest building on the skyscraper is the BB&T building. Rod Brind'Amour's team has outscored opponents 18-5 in the third period. I know Andrew has left, but he is believing in the reverse sweep, knowing that one of his favorite teams is the Hurricanes. So we have the Zibanejad line out there to begin this third period up against the Jordan Staal line. That's one of the most frequent matchups here throughout the series, alongside the Sebastian Aho line against the Vinny Trocheck line. Those are the centers among the most prominent lines being matched up with one another throughout this series. First line against first line, second line against second line. We're underway. Carolina leads 3-1. They've outscored their opponents 18-5 in the third, looking to hold on here. Rangers need to. Can they get it here? Unless if there's another goal by Carolina, which they are in a position where they need free. Jarvis tangled up with Lindgren. Fox is down there over at the far corner. Still it's poked loose at the far side, held inside by Burns. This one kicked out by Shesty. Behind the net is Teravainen's Spinorama pass went out in front of Staal. He'll recollect at the far corner as he's shoved away by Lindgren. Down goes one of the Canes. Teravainen races after the puck. Staal is tied up. He could not collect this. Turned over to Jarvis. Jarvis fires it went off a Ranger's stick and up onto the glass. Rozovic gets it out. He'll be gloved down by Slavin. Or Orlov, pardon me. Moving it back inside is Jarvis on the left side for Teravainen. Back inside is Jarvis. Stymied towards the boards at the near corner. Cross-ice pass over to Sebastian Aho. Burns walking the point. Long shot went over to the near corner. Moved up by Panarin. Up for center ice. Make his way around Aho. Sticked away by Slavin. Standing his ground. Svechnikov on the Queer. Rangers get this one back in after it was gloved down to Queer. Hurricanes poke this one forward. Svechnikov was slowed down. Miller gets it one back for the Rangers. Pickpocketed across as Aho is the first there. Trying to chop it out on the backhand. Did so once, and that was successful. Braden Schneider is back deep. Has Svechnikov on his face. Lafreniere is the receiving end of this lead pass. To the left side. Give and go around for the boards was not there. Drury now picks it up. Jack Drury through center ice. Chop forward as lands his way out to Shesterkin. He almost misplayed it! It made his way over to the near corner, but that was almost a misplay. And what could have cost the Rangers another goal remains 3-1. At the near corner, Drury on the hold. Around the zone for Marnook. Wenberg shuts him off. Wenberg at the far side. Skating this one up through center ice. And on for the opposite corner pass, Freddie Anderson. Picked up at the near boards by Martinook. And the lead pass over to the far side for Natchez. Natchez bumps off Schneider. Natchez centers one for Martinook. He fires it. It's up high and out. And we'll get a stoppage here. But boy, that was so close, Ian. Igor Shesterkin almost misplayed the puck and it almost bit the Rangers.
Oh, man. Okay, Alec, while they're still doing things, you've been watching this series a lot closer than I have. What has been the change for the Hurricanes?
So I feel the change was to get more energy to execute, continuing on with the game plan of high energy and to implement more forechecks like what they're doing right now. Whacks at the puck at the front of the net. Shesterkin maintaining his ground, keeping this a 2-goal game. But what has changed here is that this up-tempo forecheck has been bothering the Rangers all around through all the 200 feet of the ice as Kotkaniemi recollects his own zone. Almost turned over to Vesey, but the Canes are back at it. The only goal the Canes have allowed was on a quick shot, as is the case now from Brodzinski. There's a broken stick on the ice at the far corner. Anderson turned this one aside. It's a foot race for the puck. It's Fox to it first. But it was the only goal the Canes allowed was a quick shot by Artemi Panarin that was deflected inside by Vinny Trocheck with Anderson stumbling. That was the only goal for the Rangers right now. They have not allowed, the Canes have not allowed any goals since. Here is Panarin over to the net. Tic-tac-toe, toe drag. Anderson, another big stop on the bread man. There will be no bread at Panarin bread this time around. And it's up at center ice where Jarvis sends it over to Stahl, who gets tied up. Pickpocket around. Here's Jarvis, who brings it back up opposite Panarin. Jarvis over to Stahl. This one bounced over to Shesterkin. At the opening free 40 of the 30 stops action. And the commissioner, Gary Bettman, is at the scene here at PNC Arena. The NHL entry draft will be on June 28th. That's when the first round will be at the Las Vegas Sphere. First ever decentralized draft in the NHL, adjusting to a more NFL, NBA draft scheme. Aho and Trocheck are back on the ice. They'll take the face-off to the right of Shesty. False start in the draw. Aho is going to be tossed out. The Rangers are blessed with elite goaltending throughout their franchise's history in the last 3 decades. Mike Richter and Henrik Lundqvist having their jerseys retired 35 and 30. Igor Shesterkin being the next great goaltender for the Rangers. Hopefully he has his number hung up at the rafters when it's all said and done. Trocheck will start up his own zone. Lee pass 4 minutes in, deflected inside. Shea's the first there at the near corner. Spun around and turned away. Trouba on the hold at the near boards. Knocked down is Lafreniere behind the net at the near corner, emerging with this puck around the right circle. Shea on his face. Around us goes Miller's long shot. Rebound in front. Keandre Miller. Oh, that was close enough, but never close enough. Anderson is without his stick. It's at the near corner. Carolina trying to get this one out. Can't do it for the moment. Now they do. And Anderson can pick up his stick again. I'll gonna go for Genso off the post. Shesterkin's going to hang on to it. Jake Genso so close to getting the Canes up by 3. That ping was so loud, and it almost looked like it's going to go behind the net, but Shesterkin saw it go to his right, drops his stick to hold on to it. My, oh my.
Oh, man, Alec. Playoff hockey, I love you so.
It's the beautiful game. All of it.
Oh, quick update. In the first quarter of the Timberwolves Nuggets game, the Timberwolves currently lead 29-11.
Make it 31-14 as a long shot by the Rangers. Another glove save by Freddie Anderson. That was Alex Wenberg taking the shot. But just like what the Hurricanes are doing, the Timberwolves are eager to force a Game 7 back at Denver.
Yep. And Anderson coming up big. Man, Frederick Anderson. You know, there was a moment, it seemed like everyone forgot that Frederick Anderson was one of the best goalies in the league. It seems like it, because you don't hear his name that often. And when you do, he's done something spectacular.
Yeah, you're back in Anaheim and Toronto, notably Anaheim in his early years, when he was alternating starts with him and Jonas Hiller early on. And after Hiller left for Calgary, that's when Anderson took the starting job. And alternating starts with John Gibson, who has emerged as a solid starter of his own. Gibson took the crease on his own at the 2017 season when Anderson signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're at the 14:25 mark of the third period. Canes lead 3-1. Pack deflected. Here is Jarvis, who is tying up his man, Jacob Trouba. Gustafsson emerging with it. That was Brandon Schneider who Jarvis tied up, rather. Bouncing puck at center ice near the Canes logo. Job backward by Chatfield. Cooley in his face. Stahl had this advance forward to him. And it's poke free. Kakko on a cross to Gustafsson. Gustafsson gets it out of his own territory. Wenberg kicked it to himself. Chatfield stood him up. And around this goes. Jarvis on his backhand, slammed towards the wall. Schneider can't hold. This puck up through the air. This is out onto the safety. No, not out onto the safety net. It bounces back into play. Chatfield across over to Orlov. Orlov under control and it poked loose. Here's the Zibanejad who sets up Chris Kreider. Kreider waiting for help over to Rozovic. The bouncing puck never there. Yes, Barry Kotkaniemi over the far side for Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov fires since Shesterkin shot that slow puck down. And back the other way comes Rozovic. Jack Rozovic trying to beat out the defense. And back there is Slavin. Loose puck now picked up by Zibanejad. He's now behind the net. Trying to tuck it out front. Kreider score! Snuck it under Anderson. Chris Kreider makes it a 1-goal game. Oh, we definitely are.
Your job's not done yet.
I must say, yeah, the job is never finished. Just like what Kobe Bryant says. I know he switched over to the Discord side, but he just tucked this one through right underneath Anderson's left goal. How did Kreider find enough room to sneak it by Anderson? I can't figure it how, but nonetheless, it's a 1-goal game.
It was right. It was a moment, Alec. A moment where the glove and the pad were separated. But that was it. That's all he needed.
Yeah, all that he needed to sneak this one through. Now it's a 1-goal game. We're at a stoppage here at the 6:51 mark of the third period. Canes still lead. The go-ahead goal. If this final result stands, the game winner will be credited to Sebastian Aho. Rangers trying to end it tonight. Canes trying to send this to Saturday.
I'm impressed. Wow.
I mean,
I don't know what's astonishing me more. The fact that the Hurricanes have found a new gear that they're tapping into right now to try and make this comeback, or the fact that the Rangers, despite
being dead to rights, it seems, in this game, they're not out of it in this game. You lost Ian for the moment, but we're staying with you here all the way through, up until the end. What a game we're witnessing. What a series we're witnessing as well. So we're getting back into play. 13:09 left in the third period. Canes lead 3-2. Kreider sneaks it through Anderson to get this within one. His 5th goal of the playoffs, Mika Zibanejad, and Jack Rozovic the assists on the Kreider goal. Face-off is to the right of Shesterkin. Won by the Rangers is Fox around for Lindgren. Lindgren just got this one out despite D'Angelo's best efforts to keep this in. Offside, the Canes can't get everyone out. That whistle took 7 seconds. In Game 4, it was Freddie Anderson who had it sneak right by off a bounce from Alexei Lafreniere. Lafreniere tucked this in from behind the net. That's how Anderson got beat out in Game 4. Off his glove hand and in. That's a sneaky bounce from Lafreniere to get this in. Canes win the ensuing faceoff. Fired around by Shea and back inside. Lindgren couldn't pick this one up. It's a loose puck over the near boards, or far boards rather. Nature's chasing out Fox. Fox moves it over to the near side for Brodzinski, who gets tied up. Fox gloves this loose puck down. Out center ice to the left side. Panarin. He parks at the left circle. Cross ice pass for Trocheck. It was not there. And around this goes back. Past D'Angelo and back for Panarin. Panarin cross ice pass again. Here's Trocheck setting up opposite for Trouba. Jacob Trouba couldn't get the shot away and a setup for Panarin at the far corner, looking for options to pass to. Panarin retreats over to the point, around for Trocheck. Trocheck around back, long shot was blocked in front by Shea. And this is now scooped up by Natchez. Martin Natchez trying to get this forward. Natchez slowed down. One of the Rangers bumps into him. But he gets the line changes for Carolina. Lafreniere will restart his own zone. The Aho line out there for the Canes. Jake Gensel watching Lafreniere. 8 minutes gone, third period. Kreider is the only goal with the third. Gensel starts now. And the feed to the left side for Kreider. Pass knocked loose. It's taken up by Svechnikov, who clears it back down. Miller there. Trouba gets this one out. And the Canes pick this one back up. And this is delayed offside, they say. Just circle leave behind over to Miller. Watching it, Gensel again. For the far side this goes. Rangers try to move up for the ice. Miller. For the near side is Rozovic. Rozovic over to Kreider. Kreider turns one around. And that shot in front was blocked off. It's Gensel all the way out the center. Schneider takes it up. Braden Schneider. For the near boards over to Rozovic, who's cut away. And this comes out to center ice where Svechnikov gets this one down. Two Rangers going one under. Here comes Sebastian Aho. Back behind the fence. Oh, he missed it wide. A breakaway opportunity. As two Rangers are caught. Colliding one each other. Does miss. Here's Schneider back the other direction. Set up pass in front. Anderson stops it. And it's still a play back behind him. 9 minutes gone. Chatfield will restart. Chatfield will get this one up on his backhand. Clears it down. And the Rangers on the other way get down behind Anderson. Orlov will lead behind away from Cooley. Chatfield over to Teravainen. Pass cut away. Here's Adam Fox on his backhand, controlling of the left circle. Backhand shot. Missed the mark. Held inside by New York. All the way down as goes over to Wenberg, who centered it on. One Ranger lost an edge. Here's Lindgren for the left circle. Lindgren down low. Can't fire this one on. Cooley sticks this one through to keep it alive. From the near corner, it's Jarvis on the backhand. Can't get it out. Cooley was there. Now the Hurricanes sweep it out. Here's Stahl. Stymie. But gets it out anyway. Ryan Lindgren shoved away. Bounces on to Fox. 10:15 to go. Rangers need one after scoring the goal that gets into a thin one. Artemi Panarin, coast to coast, opposite Marnook. Pass to the left side for Trocheck. Trocheck around, opposite D'Angelo. Lafreniere picks it up. This one out of play. The Rangers are alleging that the Hurricanes committed the way of game. We're not sure if there's going to be a penalty. The officials are going to deliberate. We'll get the call soon enough.
Okay, sorry, I'm back. I had to take a call from my aunt, and now I'm in my car, driving to her house to drop something off. But I will be here for the remainder of the contest, though I will not see it. So throughout the way, folks, it will be Alec. It will be Alec doing what he has done this entire playoffs, manning the ship and guiding us to glory.
Aye. They say, well, as we look at the replay, this might have been Shea on his own to the netting. That's why the Rangers are alleging delay of game. They're going to take a closer look at this. It appears this may be too close to call. We can't tell from the angle of where the camera was from near the ice, as it's too close between Shea and Lafreniere. They're going to make the call soon enough. But another angle, that is close. But it appeared Shea might have deflected this out on his own. So we await Shea's fate.
Oh boy. Hurricanes fans, hold on to your hats, because if this turns out to be a delay game penalty on Brady Shea, she's going into the box for 2 minutes, and that means the Rangers get a power play very late in this contest. This is not what the Hurricanes wanted to do at all.
Well, guess what? Wash it out. There's no penalty. Here's a 2-on-1. Back the other way. No centering pass. It was too late. They're tucking in front. Oh, my goodness. Igor Shesterkin just robbed Jordan Stahl blind. This game remains 3-2. Could have easily been 4-2, maybe even 5-2, and had not been for several great opportunities that were stopped out in front. That one wide. No delay of game penalty against Brady Shea, even though it looked close to one. Vinny Trocheck will restart. from his own zone, protects the puck. Trocheck walks this one in on his own, and on the backhand, Panarin fighting Fox, who is parked in the near corner. Anderson without stick. Trocheck's long shot. Anderson without his stick keeps this game 3-2. And he goes back to retrieve his stick. Play stops. 9:13, third period. We go to break.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Well then, yeah, there's not much there's not much to say right now, Alec. This is a battle of survival for the Hurricanes, and for the Rangers, this is a chance to once again go to the conference finals, where when they were last there, they faltered and failed. Exactly. Yes. This is a chance for them to go back and do what hasn't been done since, I believe, 2012. Or was that 14?
14. Go to the Stanley Cup
14.
final.
Right. But the Hurricanes, man. I mean, what can you say about the Hurricanes? They are literally fighting for their playoff lives right now, and they're not looking to go home just yet.
They're not. I mean, they're fighting with every inch, every ounce of survival on their instinct. And it's all been there. Both teams are leaving it out onto the line. Though, but if there's any sign that this game points towards, it could be another one-goal game, as it's been the case for the first 4 games.
Right. Alec, please, if you will, please give us a reminder on what the game clock is. Where are we at in this game?
So we welcome back to Twitter Space side on this. We're at the 9:13 mark. That's how much we have left in the third period. Rangers need another. Carolina wants to hang on to force a Game 7 at Madison Square Garden. The on-ice official making that call to wipe off the delay of game was Steve Kazari. He and Francis Chiron are referees. Our linesmen tonight coming in Ryan Daisy and Devin Berg. Rangers win the draw as Kreider behind the net, trying to tie this game up at 3. Around this one goes, up and around for the board. Zibanejad, he's squared up. And this time, it is a penalty against the Canes. Chiron made the call. It is Jordan Stahl, 2 for boarding.
Oh, man. And here we go.
Yeah, that was a clear shove towards the wall. Whether they call it boarding or cross-checking, either side, it is the right call to make, considering that Stahl did shove Zibanejad towards the wall. They're going to call it cross-checking, but no matter which way it is, either way, you can't go wrong with the penalty. And now the Rangers have another crack at the power play. Their first man advantage ended after 42 seconds because of Chris Kreider committing a cross-checking penalty. Chance to tie here. They have 2 minutes to do so. Carolina has killed off every penalty at home ice here thus far in this series. And conversely, the Canes have scored 2 power play goals, both of them here on this ice. Canes win the draw to be spun around over to Jarvis. Jarvis sends this one down low all the way to the near corner of the Rangers end for the first clear to kill off 10 seconds. Fox will start up the attack. Does he drop back? Yes, he does. That's Panarin leading the rush. Coast to coast they go. Panarin at the right side for Trocheck. Trocheck will spin it backwards. Panarin trying to drop past it back for Fox. Can't do so. Around this goes for Zibanejad. Backhands it behind the net for Trocheck, who's tied up and shoved down. Canes trying to clear, and they do. Rides along the wall, and the Rangers will move this one up. Shesterkin trying to play aggressively. We do have a stoppage here. 8:23 to go here in the third. The puck was in the benches before it entered back the ice. So we'll have a face-off afterwards. It's not the way of game. Oh, and Burns wants to go at Trocheck. Trocheck used to play for Carolina, Brent Burns has never been teammates with Vinny Trocheck.
You know, when the Hurricanes traded for Brent Burns, I was skeptical because it looked like that man had been on a steep decline that was career endangering, but it seems he has found a role in this Carolina Hurricanes team to where he has been able to not only make himself useful, but in certain areas thrive.
And that's what he's doing right now, whether it be on the power play or even strength. Rangers control on the man advantage. Here's Panarin on the drop back for Fox. Fox around back for Panarin. Panarin twists and turns away. Back at the point, Zibanejad set up for Panarin. Back around, here's Fox, right point. Trocheck over to Zibanejad. Zibanejad looking. High shot, score! They tied it up! The Rangers have come all the way back!
Yep, there's the danger.
And guess who it was? It's Chris Kreider, power play goal. Their first on the road through these playoffs. Artemi Panarin, I believe, took the initial shot. He took it from the high side. Chris Kreider with the deflection, known for getting those deflection goals, a master at doing so. You think of Joe Pavelski. You think of Chris Kreider. When you think of masters of deflecting goals, this was right at the shoulder, not above the shoulder, legal, and we're tied, 3 apiece. 8:06 to go, third period. And now, this is where it gets interesting. What does Carolina do from here on out? Here's Nason, tied up at the near corner. Kotkaniemi will keep it around. Nason's wraparound. Shesterkin on the shutdown. Miller sent up for Brodzinski. Brodzinski on the tap-in. D'Angelo swept it away on the backhand. Now it is anyone's game after it looked like Carolina was on cruise control in the second period, but several great chances have been turned away, whether it be Shesterkin or the post. In one such great chance, Jake Gensel off the post. Shea finds Kotkaniemi. Kotkaniemi sends it down all the way to Ranger ice. That might be icing. No. This will be corralled down by the Rangers, restarting at their own zone as it was knocked off a Ranger on the clear. Fox, for the far side. Stretch pass is not there. Moved up for the ice. Bouncing puck behind Anderson. Orlov got this one over. It's turned away. Well, Cooley in front. Can't get it there. Far corner held alive. Adam Fox at the right point. Back around this goes. Tie up between Cooley and Chatfield. Canes pick it up. Kreider from Panarin and Trocheck officially on the Ranger goal. Aho is back with this. At his own zone, 6:48 to go. Aho leads it up. And a shutdown right at center ice. Be picked back up by Schneider. Braden Schneider coast to coast from right to left. Schneider moves it up for Rozovic. Rozovic can't get this one to go. Canes turn this one away. Ryan Lindgren back behind. Over to Schneider where he gets this one on for the near corner. Stall on his face. And up around, this goes. Cleared out. Carolina gets it back. From across the red line to send this one around. Shesterkin couldn't play it. Schneider can. Gustafsson up in front. At the far side. Canes trying to hold. Kreider's tied up. Puck battle along for the far corner. Rangers have it. It's Schneider. Up for Rozovic, and up forward this goes for Kreider, who scored 2 goals here. Kreider looking for the hat trick, and it bounces wide as he was colliding right behind the net. Jacob Slavin tying his man up. Right behind him is Lafreniere as this one aired out to center. Canes push it forward. 5:52 to go. It is Gustafsson back his own end, recollecting this puck. Fired on around from Gustafsson to the far side. Walking this in is Kako Anderson. Saw this one go wide of his net. Svechnikov forward. Bouncing puck corralled down by Trouba, and Trouba will send this one around. Anderson plays it over to the near corner. Bouncing puck over to Aho at the near boards. Aho tied up. Trocheck trying to poke it forward, which he does. Anderson will cover it up and will force a stoppage with 5:25 remaining in this third period. We have ourselves a game, Ian, and Madison Square Garden is going bananas.
Yes, we do.
So we're at the break right now. So Carolina's momentum is slowing down for the moment. And let's be frank, momentum is a funny word in hockey.
Oh, You know, it. I when people say that hockey, it doesn't compare to the other sports. This is why they don't know what they're talking about. They don't see what we see day in and day out with these teams.
They don't. I mean, all the absolute chaos around all playoff long. It's not just one game. It's all playoffs.
Yeah.
So
And to be honest, I don't, I'm thinking that now, I was confident in the Canes, but I gotta be honest, I think the Rangers are gonna land the kill shot because they have stolen the momentum. They've grinded whatever fire or whatever momentum the Hurricanes had. They've grinded it to a halt.
they surely have at this point. So we're back here. So we welcome back to Twitter Space Side. 5:25 to go. Jack Drury and Vinny Trocheck, two of the best face-off men tonight. Drury is 7 of 12, Trocheck 11 of 16. Trocheck long regarded as a face-off man. That time is Drury winning it. This one just cleared out by Carolina from their own defensive end. 5:15 to go, bouncing puck at center ice. Drury tried to send this one inside, but Miller read it. Sent behind now. Back for Miller this goes. Keandre Miller leading the rush over to the far side. Nothing there. Anderson send this one up. Goes center ice. Almost knocked away by the Rangers. Panarin tried to enter with it. Nate just stripped him of the puck. Orlov saw this one bounce off his stick. Go to the far side. This may be icing. Nobody was there at the far side to send this up to. And that's the risk when you have those stretch passes. There's nobody there. But it looks like no matter what, it feels like next goal wins in this game. Carolina's had some close calls. Jake Gensel rang the post. Sebastian Aho missed out on a breakaway. And Jordan Stahl just couldn't tap it home. Rangers get a face-off win. It's Adam Fox. They look for the kill shot. Bouncing in front, hit the side of the cage. Jordan Martinook swept it away. Hurricanes tried to move this one up. Can't do so. It's held in around. Here is Rozovic. Skating around. Pass in front. Anderson shut it down. Rangers hold again. Back behind the net is Kreider. Chatfield trying to shut this one down. Back out to the points. Adam Fox. Fox looks for something up front. Zibanejad. Nothing there. Rozovic on the tip. Nothing doing. And around this goes. Ryan Lindgren wrap around. They score! They score! The hat trick for Chris Kreider. It's for free.
Oh, man. And that's it, folks.
It's a natural hat trick. In one of the most clutch performances in this game and all playoffs, Chris Kreider, who has spent his entire career with the New York Rangers, as dubbed by many as Mr. New York, gets his third of the game, all in the third period, a natural hat trick, scoring all his goals, putting on the superhero cape, getting the tap in front, and the Hurricanes on their last gasp of air. If they don't score here, that's basically all she wrote for the Canes. 4:12 to go, but it's winded here at PNC Arena. Kreider with a natural hattie, but this is far from over yet. Yevgeny Kuznetsov loses this draw. Rangers have it. Through the lane. They send it inside. Goodrow the first there. Rangers trying to play defensively, sent up for Kotkaniemi. Jesperi Kotkaniemi for the near side. Sent across, and it's back for Kotkaniemi. Kotkaniemi sent one through, nothing there. And nobody was at the left point. Here's Brodzinski saying this right around for the near boards. And recollected by D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo. So remember, entering this period, the Hurricanes have outscored their opponents in the third period 18-5 in the playoffs. The Rangers have scored a natural hat trick from Chris Kreider. Canes try to answer back. Shea moves it up. But on the far side is sent inside. Shesterkin shutting this one down. Over to the far boards is played along. We'll keep an eye on Anderson if he were to come out. Back around this goes and sent up front over to Gensel. Jake Gensel sending his arm through. Shesterkin saw it hop over him, and down goes one of the Canes. There'll be no harm in the air. The Rangers have this one. Send it over the red line. Anderson will lead this back. Slavin now has it. Free to go. Third period to the right side. Back up for Stahl. Jordan Stahl. Up at the near corner. Watched by Jacob Trouba. Let this puck come off of him. Off the stick. At the far side, kept in. Teravainen's shot blocked in front. And another shot was stopped by Shesterkin off Slavin. 2:48 to go. What does Rod Brindamore do here? Does he use his timeout and pull Freddie Anderson? Or does he hang on to said timeout and wait until there is later on a time for that to happen to close off? He had the right time to pull him. The hats came raining down at Madison Square Garden with Kreider getting the natural hattie. Deep breaths, everyone. 2:48 remains here. Anderson is at his bench. The Hurricanes have pulled him. They're getting 6 attackers on the ice. Aho and Trocheck on the face-off. This comes out for Svechnikov, and another save by Shesterkin. Bouncing around and right behind for Fox. It's up out of play. They're not going to call it delay of game, however, because it was deflected out. This was Fox on the clear. Shesterkin saw the shot from Svechnikov the entire way as the puck came loose over to him. Blocker's side, he was aiming towards over the far side. Rangers leading for the first time tonight. It looked like they were on the verge of being reverse swept, but now they have taken the lead. Aho, another face-off when it's Burns dropping back. Brady Shea shot. Rebound loose in front is driven over to the near corner. Aho on the keep. Rangers trying to get this one out. They do so. Sailing on its way for an icing. 2:26 left.
The Rangers, they better be careful. You know, it's great. It's great that you've taken the lead, but these Hurricanes, man, if they find just one, all they need is one good shot.
And they got that from Svechnikov, which was stopped by Shesterkin. All they need is for one to beat Shesterkin. Any puck, any chance they get. False start on the draw. We'll have to do this one over again. 2:23 remains. Shesterkin locked in at the right side of his post. Svechnikov has 2 assists. Jake Gensel is going to take the draw. He did take face-off before. Bouncing puck. Rangers trying to go for the kill shot. Kicked inside. And this rolling puck will not make it in. Just wide of the left post. 2:17 remains. Brent Burns forces the icing. We'll have another draw. Tired bodies on both sides of the ice. If we do get a Game 7, that'll be on Saturday at 8 Eastern. At Madison Square Garden. Canes fans holding on to their breaths.
I don't see.
Oh, this puck is
I
bouncing
don't
up high.
see it, Alec.
Rangers do get it out. This will not be an icing. And Brady Shea will touch it up. He'll start activating this offense here with 2:02. On the right side, here's Burns. Far side is the sent inside. Sebastian Aho levels his man Trouba. Back behind as Jarvis. Over to Svechnikov at the far corner. Svechnikov can't find anyone. Trocheck trying to get this one out. Setting off for the empty net. Not even close. 1:46 remains. Another offensive zone face-off. Now does Brindamore use his timeout? That's the question. Don't see anything just yet. But we're getting back onto the action here at Raleigh. Tie up on the draw as the Rangers jumping on it. Lindgren trying to clear. It's bouncing out. Will this make its way to the net? No! 137 remains. And yet another icing.
The Rangers, you're playing a dangerous game right now. You're supposed to put the puck in the empty net and kill this game. You keep giving them chances, it's gonna bite you.
Yeah, there's 137 remaining here in this period. There's still enough time for Carolina to tie this one up, possibly send this one to overtime, but then again, anything can happen in 1 minute and 37 seconds. Do you remember that Brock Besser tied it up with 1:41 to go in Game 4 against the Oilers? Evan Bouchard had the winner 61 seconds after that. Vancouver tried to get another tying goal, but the Magic ran out. It's an even series by then, 2-2, and Rod Brindamore indeed is going to use his timeout.
Well, let's not also forget the ultimate meme. What happened in that game? They had the lead going. They had the game won. And then I believe it was
Montour.
It wasn't Verhaeghe.
It was Montour tying it.
He got the game winner. Who was it that got the tying goal?
Montour.
Wait, what? Montour got the tying goal, and there was under a minute left, I believe, or just about.
Exactly a minute.
So exactly a minute left. This game is not over by any stretch.
No, sir.
By
any means. There's Brent Burns who's tied up. Bouncing puck out the center. Race for this loose puck is picked up by Svechnikov with Zibanejad trying to get the empty netter. Can't do it here. Shea will have to restart. 1:17 to go. Feed up for the right side. Here's Jarvis on the entry. Puck is loose. Deflected forward by Vesey. And this will go out to center ice. Canes will recollect. Jarvis up and around. Through the far side. Bouncing puck. Rangers trying to get this one out. At center ice, it's the Canes with it. Less than a minute to go. On the Canes season, perhaps, if they don't get the tying goal. Miller is back behind the net, trying to clear. And the Rangers will shoot this one down for the ice. It's wraps. 48.1 left. 4 goals in the third period. After it looked like they were about to get reverse swept, they have scored 4 goals in the third. And the icing on the cake, Barclay Goodrow to top off Chris Kreider's natural hat trick.
Well, so now that that's over with, Alec, we have to ask ourselves, where do the Canes go from here?
I don't know.
Because it's unlikely that in the next 48 seconds, they're going to tie this game up.
Yeah, I don't believe so. Unless by some miracle it happens. Though Teravainen's inside. The pass over to Swatch. Shesterkin under save. And that will be over to far side. And all the way out. The closest we have ever gotten to a reverse sweep was that the losing team fell short in 6 games. We've seen this last year between the Vegas Golden Knights and Dallas Stars. The Golden Knights won the first 3 games, eventually winning in 6. The Tampa Bay Lightning won the first 3 games against the Montreal Canadiens, winning in 6 in 2015. And the Washington Capitals won the first 3 games against the Philadelphia Flyers in 2016, winning in 6 games. Off the faceoff, this is D'Angelo, 25 seconds, as the Canes are trying to keep this one inside. Rangers trying to get this one out to run out the rest of this clock. It's over to Shesterkin, loose puck, D'Angelo! Oh, he almost had that one. Shesterkin's down without a stick. Canes can't get this one through. Slavin and D'Angelo collide each other. There won't be no reverse sweep. And it remains a 6-game victory for the New York Rangers, who will carry Lady Liberty's torch to the Eastern Conference Final.
Well, It was a good story, Carolina. Really, it was. But, you fall behind 3-0, your chances of winning are slim to none. And now they have some questions. Because, this was this the last year for them, Alec? Technically?
You could say this is last chance. This year was last chance territory for them. Yeah,
Man.
yeah, pretty much.
So,
if you look at the number of free agents, Teuvo Teravainen, Jake Gensel, Jordan Martinook, Stefan Nason, Brady Shea, Brett Pesce, Tony DeAngelo, Jalen Chatfield, and Antti Ranta are all unrestricted free agents. Martin Necas, Jack Drury, Seth Jarvis, Ryan Suzuki, Max Comtois, Dylan Coghlan are all restricted free agents. So it's where do you go from here? That's 15 free agents that you have to take care of, and you can't re-sign everybody. That accounts for, I don't know how much of the cap is going to take up, but I have to use my calculator to get things up. But the TNT crew focusing on the man of the hour himself, Chris Kreider, who we can crown as the man of the match. The Hurricanes have outshot the Rangers in every game of this series. Yet the Rangers, they have stood up in 4 of the 6 games all around.
I'm a Hurricanes fan. I'm shocked because this game, they had a 2. Oh my God, Alec, I just realized the Hurricanes went into the third period with a 2-goal lead. What has been our mantra for the entire time we've been broadcasting? What is the most dangerous lead a team can have?
A 2-goal lead.
A 2-goal lead. Oh, we should have saw the writing on the wall with that one.
Yeah,
oh boy. Oh, man. So the Rangers survive and will face either Florida or Boston. I still think it's going to be Florida. And with that, and honestly, I don't know, man. Like, if Boston somehow pulls it off against Florida, I can't even say they're going to get much by the Rangers because I said Boston was going to for sure lose against Florida. And it's my biggest fear that they make it to the conference finals. If Florida makes it to face the Rangers, I don't know if Florida wins. I don't know if Florida gets back to the Cup final because the Rangers, they did look sloppy, but in one period, they bury their opponent. To put it simply, people, if they had just waited to score all of their goals in one period, they would have won the game in the third period alone. That is how fast the Rangers can apparently score.
Yeah, we can talk about for all the times about how clutch the Hurricanes are in the third period, that they've outscored their opponents 18-5 heading into the third period of this game in the playoffs. But we seem to forget to account that the Rangers are clutch in their own right. This time coming in the form of Chris Kreider's natural hat trick.
Chris Kreider, man. How long has that guy been on that team? It feels like he's been there forever.
And he's been around since 2012, that season.
Oh, that season.
Yeah, the 2012 season.
Right. Oof. Wow. He's been around. Certainly been around for a while.
Yeah, he
Wow.
has.
I did not realize that he had been in the league that long. I mean, I knew he'd been in the league for a while, but damn.
This is devastating if you're a Canes fan. Because this is last chance. And basically, you don't know how much of the core you're going to bring back. I feel you have to prioritize Natchez in the offseason. Shea and Gensel. I think your top three priorities, if you're Carolina, are Natchez, Gensel, and Shea. This is demoralizing.
What what do you do as the Hurricanes? I mean, we can ask that same question. We can ask that same question for any number of teams. But for the Hurricanes, it's the same four words. What do you do? I mean, or what more can you do? Because this was pretty much your all-in push. You gave up premium assets to go get Jake Gensel. Granted, compared to other players, you got him on the cheap, but you still gave up assets to get him. And he performed well. It wasn't enough. I don't know what you do, man.
This is heartbreaking.
It further, the further away we get from 2006, we almost have to look at that as a time of myth, or a time of just, like it was Carolina and Edmonton in the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, you look at the years from since then. Both teams have had their arcs where they've sucked. Both teams, truth be told, their paths intersect. I mean, they sucked around the same time. They got good again around the same time. And they're in the playoffs, and they're vying for a chance. And they're now once again in similar positions of trying to get back to the final. And now Carolina has Carolina has lost. Edmonton has a chance, given the fact that they had the best player of generation on their team, but there's no guarantee of that. But I mean, what else could you do? I mean, there's not a move that can be done. You know what? They're kind of like Nashville in that way. They're gonna have the team. They have all the pieces that they have to stay competitive, but what move other than emptying the tank to get a guy who maybe is on his last legs, but is still a top-rated superstar? Outside of that, what do you
do? I mean, you're not wrong there. It's just a whole bunch of questions that may not be seen to be answered anytime soon. I just don't get it. Either way. So, with that, the Rangers, they move on to the Eastern Conference Final to face either the Panthers or the Bruins. The Canes are going golfing. The storm dissipates. After 6 games, Lady Liberty's torch still stands. And that is all from this Eastern Conference semifinal series. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
To be honest, man, I don't have any thoughts because
I
this
get you.
this might have been it. I mean, they still have Aho under contract, but they're going to be losing a lot. You know, they may be forced into an early rebuild because I don't know who they can find to get them over the hump.
I honestly don't know what the Canes do from here on out. It's just, and you point out the comparison to Nashville feels like the Canes are the Nashville Predators with better PR.
Yep.
It's just sad all around. Well, guess that's it. So, tomorrow it seems they'll be doing the Stars and the Avalanche Game 6. The series is still alive. Dallas can end it. Colorado can force a Game 7. But once again, for those who are wondering, the Avalanche have not won a Game 7 since 2002. For those who are wondering, that's 22 years. We'll find out if a Game 7 is there in the books tomorrow. Should Colorado win a Game 6, or should Dallas close this one out? Until then, you say goodnight from Raleigh.